guys, so a couple of days ago, I made a video reacting to some YouTubers that completely disappeared off the face of the earth. But today, we're gonna be reacting to YouTubers that became murderers. This video is going to be insane. We're gonna find out about YouTubers who were literally normal, and then one day they killed somebody. Oh my God, this is gonna be insane. Try not to get scared, try not to pee yourself. Let's go.
Suzanne Eaton was a 59-year-old American scientist who was working as a professor of molecular biology in Dresden, Germany. A big part of her job at this institute was to travel around the world and hold conferences on the latest developments in her field. In July of 2019, she traveled to the scenic Greek island of Crete for one of these conferences,
confusing to
not knowing that this was going to be her last, and that the person responsible for her end would be cut because of his videos on YouTube.
What?
The incident happened on July 2nd, when, after a conference, Suzanne spent time with her peers and played the public piano in the venue's lobby.
Wait, is this girl like a teacher? She's literally a teacher at like a college, and then a YouTuber killed. What? Okay, we gotta figure out what happened here.
We're saying her goodbyes and heading out to her hotel in the afternoon. Sadly, this was the last time anyone saw Suzanne alive. Her coworkers noticed her absence when she didn't show up for the second conference scheduled for 6 p.m. that evening. It wasn't like her to skip events out of the blue. Something wasn't right. A fact that became increasingly clear when over 24 hours passed without anyone hearing from her. So, on July 3rd, her colleagues called the police to check on her, hoping she was simply sick or something similar. However, when officers arrived at her hotel room, no one answered the door. They acquired a spare key from the hotel management and went inside, only to find the room completely empty and undisturbed. All of Suzanne's belongings were also still in the room. The only things missing were her running shoes and a set of exercise clothes. Those who knew her immediately understood what this meant. You see, in addition to her academic prowess and piano expertise, Suzanne was also an athlete at heart. She was a double black belt in Taekwondo and
a double black belt in Taekwondo? That means this old lady could really chop some kill some.
Her age loved going on a run every day. Knowing this helped investigators narrow down what might have happened to her. Put simply, she likely went on a run soon after returning to her hotel on July 2nd, and something went wrong after that. She wasn't super familiar with the area, and to make matters worse, the weather was uncomfortably hot that afternoon.
Oh yeah, he did say that she went on vacation to go teach some stuff in like Greece or Italy or something. Like this is kind of like in Italy. So she was on vacation. So she went out to go work out, do a little run, but she might have gotten lost. But let's see how the YouTuber aspect comes into this. Did a YouTuber like live stream him kidnapping her or something? This is gonna be crazy.
There was a strong possibility she collapsed from the heat or something else along those lines. After putting this together, the Crete police immediately dispatched a search and rescue team in the area surrounding her hotel and around popular running trails. Her family even traveled to Crete and put a €50,000 reward for anyone who could help find Suzanne.
50,000 bucks?
Unfortunately, Suzanne was nowhere to be found. That is until 5 days later, on July 8th, when two young men were exploring one of the abandoned World War II Nazi bunkers scattered across Crete. Around 200 meters in, one of them noticed a piece of burlap covering something on the ground. They picked it up from one end to see what was underneath. And what they found was the aftermath of one of the most horrific crimes in Crete's recent history. The burlap was covering the bloody remains of Suzanne Eaton.
Oh man.
A later autopsy report discovered that Suzanne had several broken ribs, multiple fractures throughout her body, a missing ear, and much, much more.
A missing ear? Who did this? I gotta figure out who did this.
Whatever happened to her certainly was not
Mike Tyson!
The investigators began searching for clues, and fortunately it didn't take long for them to make their first major breakthrough. A set of car tire tracks leading up to the entrance of the bunker. Analyzing these tracks allowed investigators to find the car responsible for transporting Suzanne's remains to that bunker.
What? They analyzed the tire tracks in the mud and found which specific car it came from? They got crazy, dude. This literally goes to show, if you're gonna do something bad in your life, if you're gonna do some crimes and stuff, you're gonna get caught, bro. They know how to analyze tire tracks. They found the car. How do you do that? I don't understand.
Belonged to 27-year-old Giannis Paraskakis,
Giannis
a local sheep
Antetokounmpo.
farmer. But when questioned, Giannis feigned ignorance and claimed that him driving through that area on that day was nothing more than a coincidence. He went as far as to say that he didn't even know about the existence of that bunker, a lie that would eventually lead to his arrest. You see, Giannis had a dream to become a successful YouTuber. He started a channel with his own name in 2012 and began
That's the worst channel ever. This boy looked like Timu Naruto. What is going on?
However, if you go to his channel today, all you'll find are 3 videos of him performing an ancient Chinese martial art and meditation technique called Qigong. That's because a couple days before Suzanne's body was discovered, Giannis deleted every other video on his channel. And once authorities recovered some of these deleted videos, it became clear why. You see—
Wait, after the girl got found and the police were like, dude, we think it was you, he deleted all of his YouTube videos. That's really suspicious. Let's see what they found.
Most of these deleted videos involved Giannis exploring abandoned World War II bunkers, including the one where Suzanne's remains were discovered.
His videos for him exploring these bunkers where she was found, and then he deleted them. That's, bro, you literally just snitched on yourself.
This contradiction gave the authorities the go-ahead to formally arrest him on July 15. It also allowed them to investigate him further, and the evidence they discovered was overwhelming. As it turned out, the land where this bunker was located was owned by Giannis's family. Investigators also found traces of Suzanne's blood in his car's trunk. When confronted with this evidence, Giannis cracked and told the whole story. According to him, he saw Suzanne running down the road and something came over him. He hit her with his car twice before putting her in his car, driving to the bunker, and ending her life there. He later changed his story to where he was compelled to commit this crime by a demon. Unfortunately for him, the jury didn't buy this one bit and sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole in 2020.
Well, I guess his dream of becoming a YouTuber is kaput! Good job, bud!
Now, this should have been the end of Giannis' story, but from what I've seen, there's more to his actions than just this one crime he was convicted of. The thing is, Giannis presented his vile act as a crime of opportunity, something he did completely out of nowhere. However, there's evidence to suggest that Giannis might be a full-blown serial killer. For instance, he was apparently detained by the police twice before, once for arson and once for animal cruelty, both of which are well-known early behaviors of serial killers. After his arrest, several other women also came forward, testifying that he had tried to run them over with his car as well in the past.
7 other women said that he tried to run them over too. This guy loves trying to run people over. This ain't GTA, baby! What are you doing?
So, Suzanne was more than likely not his first victim. However, the most solid evidence against Giannis is in one of the deleted videos he uploaded to YouTube. In it, we can see him showing some very human-looking bones scattered throughout the same bunker Suzanne was discovered in.
No way.
These bones were never discovered by the authorities, suggesting they might have been removed by Giannis to hide evidence. But what makes this truly disturbing is what his friend says at one point in the same video.
I don't know that
this roughly
language.
Translates into, "Is this where you left that old guy?" Insinuating that Giannis had disposed of one of his previous victims in the same bunker before.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. This story just gets crazier and crazier. This guy, his family owns this old World War II bunker where this lady was found. He ended up hitting this lady with his car, took her to the bunker and left her here. But then in his deleted YouTube videos that he literally deleted, in those videos though, he showed human bones. And then one of his friends said, "Is that where you left the old guy?" Oh my god, this guy has murdered other people too.
If that is the case, one can only wonder how many other people Giannis has killed over the years.
Oh my, this guy's got to be put down, bro. I don't care if he's got life in prison. You need to send him, put him down, inject him.
Simply Manic 6075 was a YouTube channel owned and operated by 24-year-old Samantha Wolford. She lived in the small community of Monticello, Texas with her husband Ernest Lee Ibarra, aka Ernie, and their 5 children. She usually made videos about her day-to-day life and other random topics. Her story began in 2008 when she was at the lowest point of her life. She'd recently become the single mother of a pair of twins and had no love interest in her life. That's when she met Ernie at a local tattoo shop, and the two hit it off right from the get-go, eventually getting in a relationship and starting a family together.
So she met this guy at a tattoo shop, and then they just became perfect. I wonder what's going to happen. Is she going to kill somebody? Is he going to kill? Oh, God. They said they had 5 children, so I hope nothing happens to these two. Okay, let's see what happens.
In her videos, Samantha described the day she met Ernie as the happiest day of her life. Together, they were blessed with 3 more children, including 1 more pair of twins. Raising 5 kids was a challenge, but Ernie made it work by taking a second job in pizza delivery.
Okay, so this guy sounds cool. Ernie got a second job, and he became a pizza delivery driver, bro. And we ain't even talking about friggin' pizza delivery on Roblox. This guy was doing this shit in real life, dude. This guy seems good. Don't tell me she ends up killing him. Don't tell me. Because this video says YouTubers that became murderers. Do not tell me, please.
While they had endured tough times together, Samantha, Ernie, and their 5 children appeared to be the perfect loving family. However, while being a stay-at-home mother was all she could do at the time, Samantha still had a dream of becoming a famous actress one day.
I've always wanted to be an actress. I think it is so much fun. I've been extras in movies. I've had small parts in like short films. It is so much fun and it is so beautiful. It is one of the most amazing forms of art ever to be able to express yourself that way.
Okay.
It's amazing.
So, in October 2010, she created her YouTube channel and started posting videos, hoping to become a popular YouTuber and fulfill her dream on the internet instead.
Okay.
And things were going surprisingly okay in the beginning. Samantha would post new videos whenever she had something new to say. And while most of her videos struggled to get past 100 views at the time, the few viewers she had were enough to keep her going. But as time passed on, her passion for making videos turned into an obsession. She started spending more of her time on making videos than her family, putting even more pressure on an already stressed out Ernie. Around 2014, she also started accusing Ernie of hurting her in her videos, hinting at just how bad their relationship was going. But then, after posting a seemingly random video in March of 2014, Samantha mysteriously vanished from the internet. Maybe she lost interest in YouTube or just wanted to focus on her family again. No one knew exactly why she quit so abruptly. Then, on the 20th of February 2015, viewers finally received the update they were waiting for. Unfortunately, it was far more tragic than anyone could have imagined. It started with the Texas police receiving a call from one of Samantha's aunts asking them to save her niece's life.
Cause County 911, what's your emergency?
I have a home invasion. My niece is tied up. I am at the verge of untying my niece at this particular moment.
Okay, she's tied up.
She is tied up and gagged.
What?
And gagged? Is that what you
Yes,
said?
ma'am.
Is there anybody else there?
Are they talking
Where
about
are
the
the
little
kids?
kid?
We have 5 small infants asleep.
Apparently, 3 masked men broke into their home in the middle of the night and attacked the couple while they were asleep. The intruders then tied Samantha in her bedroom and after hitting him with a gun a few times, kidnapped Ernie. Samantha somehow managed to get her ties loose enough to call her aunt, who then contacted the police after arriving at Samantha's home herself.
Why would you call your aunt, bro? Call the police. I ain't calling nobody but the police if I get captured. What the hell? Like, oh, hey, Dad, can you call the police for me? There's people in here trying to kill me.
By the time officers arrived, Samantha's aunt had set her free from the restraints. The kids were fortunately safe as well.
Thank God,
However,
bro.
what made this whole situation strange was that the intruders didn't take anything else from their home besides Ernie. And from the people who knew him personally, Ernie wasn't the type of guy to make enemies with dangerous people. Put simply, investigators sensed something fishy with the whole situation.
Dude, I think this girl set Ernie up. I think this girl paid those 3 people to come and tie her up and kidnap Ernie and kill him. Maybe she wanted him to be dead.
But all that paled in comparison to the main objective, which was to save Ernie as soon as possible. Unfortunately, Samantha didn't know anything that could give investigators their first clue. With no other option, the officers took Samantha to the station for further questioning, hoping to extract any useful information they could from her. But what none of them expected was that Samantha would change up her story completely after entering the interrogation room.
Yep.
Where before she
She's up
didn't
to
know
something.
anything about the assailants, now she had the name of a potential suspect, John Rebel. As Samantha's story goes, she was talking to her friend about Ernie's supposed attacks on Samantha, when suddenly a man with the pseudonym John Rebel overheard their conversation and started talking about how a man shouldn't treat a woman that way and that he was going to handle the situation. Well, as it turned
Sound like a
out, the
beta
name
male.
John Rebel actually belonged to someone, a man named Jonathan Sanford. The police found and arrested John not long after Samantha gave out his name, right alongside his 2 accomplices, Jose Ponce and Octavius Rhymes. Surprisingly, Jonathan
This dude's name is Octavius Rhymes. His last name is Rhymes? Bro, why are you kidnapping people? You should probably be a rapper. Rhymes? That's fire.
put up little to no resistance and immediately confessed to kidnapping Ernie. He also confirmed the worst possible outcome, that by the time the police got involved, Ernie was already dead.
Oh my
The 3
God.
took him to a secluded forest and executed him with 1 shot to the back of his head.
Oh my God.
However, even after learning all this, one question remained. Why? Why would 3 men who didn't even know Ernie kidnap him from his home like
She probably paid them. I said this!
that? Every answer to this question pointed back to Samantha, who kept denying any involvement. Even if the investigators ignored her suddenly remembering the perpetrator's name, there were several other suspicious aspects to her story. Like, how was she able to untie herself enough to call her aunt? Why didn't any of her neighbors hear the break-in? And why were the kids all sleeping in the same room when usually they're scattered throughout the house? It wasn't long before investigators uncovered undeniable evidence of her direct involvement. This included instruction messages she sent to Octavius when the officers were trying to call Ernie's phone, which he had on him. These read, "Kill his phone, shut that down, ditch phone, move." There was no doubt about it at this point. Samantha was in colluding with her husband's killers. And as the investigation went on, the real story came out as well. Samantha had apparently become addicted to the idea of becoming a famous YouTuber, and her neglect of the kids became a constant source of fighting between the couple.
Okay, so this girl wanted to become a YouTuber so bad, so she stopped paying attention to her kids. She stopped taking care of her kids. Ernie was mad. He was like, bro, you're a stay-at-home mom. I'm working my butt off to pay for these children, to raise them right, and to pay for you, and you're sitting at home, you don't have a job. You want to get famous on YouTube. You're broke. You got no views, buddy. And then that's why they would argue, and she wanted to eliminate him.
But instead of resolving the issue like a responsible adult, Samantha colluded with her friend's boyfriend to hatch a cartoonishly evil scheme to get rid of Ernie. They first wanted to plant hard drugs in his car and get him arrested, but later made the heartless decision that taking his life would be much easier. There's also a chance that Samantha went with the murder plan because it would have brought her more attention on YouTube. She was eventually sentenced to 149 years in prison for
140.
killing her own husband, leaving her 5 children completely orphaned in the process.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. She killed the dad of the kids. She went to jail for 150 years. The kids all had to get new families. Hopefully they found good families. All that. Wow. She's messed up. I hate her. Let's see what else happened.
Anna Lovejoy was a successful technical writer living in the town of Carlsbad, California with her husband Greg Mulvihill. However, while her corporate job paid the bills, Diana's true passion was becoming a triathlon athlete and documenting her journey on video, resulting in her eventually starting her own fitness blog called Lovejoy Fitness and a YouTube channel by the name of Heavy DJ. She started this channel
Heavy DJ? What the hell? Okay.
all the way back in 2008, and over the years used it to document various parts of her life. From meeting her parents after a long time to going scuba diving with her husband. At one point, she even tried to become a cooking show host of sorts.
Doesn't that smell nice?
Unfortunately, her channel never really took off, forcing her to eventually cut her losses and move on with her life in March of 2012. Or at least that's what it looked like from the outside. In reality, Diana's reason for abandoning her YouTube channel was kind of wholesome. You see, Diana and Greg had been trying for a baby for years by this point. Tragically, Diana had suffered 8 different miscarriages and was quickly losing hope.
What the fuck? Bro, 8 miscarriages? Bro, y'all need to quit.
But then in September of 2012, the two were blessed with a perfectly healthy baby boy, marking an end to their struggle. However, what should have been a moment of celebration started a downward spiral of lies and betrayals, eventually culminating in an assassination attempt.
Oh my god, dude. I just remembered what this video is. I was like, oh my god, this is a happy family. Oh, I forgot that these people ended up killing. Okay, let's see what happens.
Going downhill when just a few months after the birth of their son, Greg lost his job, leaving Diana as the sole breadwinner. The stress of the previous miscarriages, combined with the crushing weight of having to support a family in an extremely expensive city all on her own, spelled disaster for their marriage. It wasn't long before the two were constantly fighting with each other. Things escalated even further on July 9, 2014, when Greg returned home only to see a police officer waiting for him at the door. The officer explained that Greg wasn't allowed to enter his own home because, as it turned out, Diana had accused him of attacking both her and their son. What followed was a nearly 2-year-long divorce mediation, during which the investigators found no evidence supporting Diana's accusations.
This guy don't look like somebody who would hurt his wife and child. This girl is crazy, dude. Just claiming that your husband beat up your child or beat you up when it didn't even happen is so weird. Like, y'all need to stay away from crazy, y'all. If y'all meet women, if you're a guy, if you meet girls, make sure they're not crazy, bro.
Get a 50-50 custody of their son. Diana was also ordered to pay $120,000 as a part of their divorce settlement in late 2015. Wow. But before the divorce could be finalized, Greg received a phone call from an anonymous number that changed everything. The voice on the other end claimed to be a private investigator Diana had hired recently. And according to this investigator, he already had solid proof of the attack claims Diana had made against Greg. But for some unknown reason, he wanted to help Greg win the case, so he claimed to have left the documents taped to a power pole located on a small hiking trail near Greg's home. Greg naturally found this whole thing pretty suspicious and decided to take one of his friends with him to the pole on the night of September 4th, 2016.
Smart.
Sadly, despite his suspicions, he failed to grasp the true intentions of the strangely helpful private detective.
Hello, this is 911.
Yeah. My friend has just been shot.
Do you know who shot him?
There's a guy lying down like a sniper.
A sniper? Did you see him at all?
Briefly, we saw the gun, and he shot at us like 6 or 7 times.
When Greg reached the pole, a sniper opened fire on him, shooting him clean through the chest. Fortunately, the bullet missed his heart by mere inches, giving him a second chance at life. By the time the police arrived, the shooter had already fled the crime scene. But a quick survey of the area allowed the investigators to uncover a pair of towels the shooter left behind. Running a DNA test on these towels led to a man named Weldon McDavid, Diana's shooting instructor. Weldon tried to deny any involvement at first, but the evidence against him was overwhelming, as after a thorough search, investigators were able to find another set of the same towels at Diana's place as well. They had also received CCTV footage of Diana buying the burner phone Weldon later used to lure Greg into the secluded area. Most importantly, investigators also found the gun Weldon used on Greg, hidden in the rafters of his garage. By this point, it was clear that Diana was the one who wanted to get rid of Greg, likely to avoid paying the divorce settlement and keep full custody of her son.
Okay, I haven't said anything in like 20 minutes because this girl claimed that her husband was trying to hurt her and her son. So she lied about that. The husband never did anything wrong. Then the judge found out after 2 years that she was lying. So she ordered her to pay the husband $120,000. She did not want to pay that because she's broke and crazy. So she decided to hire a sniper. She hired somebody to snipe her husband. I thought you only did that in the army or in video games.
Diana and Weldon were arrested for the attempted assassination on Greg Mulvihill and tried for their crimes in November 2017. Both were found guilty, with Diana sentenced to 26 years to life and Weldon to a harsher 50 years to life. The only silver lining in this entire case is that Greg was able to make a full recovery and is now living with his son.
That's awesome, dude. She didn't actually kill him. Thank God. Thank God, dude. He got to survive. It's like Michael from GTA 5. He gets shot. Ah! What? Okay, sorry, but it's a good thing that he survived. Oh my God, here's the next story.
The Gunnar Runar 87 channel on YouTube seems oddly wholesome at first glance. It's owned by an Icelandic boy named Gunnar Runar Sigthorsson and
this dude's name is Gunnar Runar. Oh, you better punch your dad in the jaw, dude. What type of name?
Single 3.5-minute video of him confessing his feelings to the girl he loves. The title translates to English as My Confession to Hildur. In it, he says things like, she is without a doubt the most special human being I've ever met. I become so happy only being close to her. That's all it takes. This is meant for you. Okay, so this guy's really in love. Yeah. He says, I think I fall. So he made a video for this girl that he really, really likes. Seems wholesome, but something weird is going to happen. However, this seemingly heartfelt love letter turned out to be the key to solving one of the most horrific crimes in recent Icelandic history. And it all led back to Gunnar and the troubled life he had as a child. You see, Gunnar didn't have a mother growing up, resulting in him getting extremely close with his father. However, on the night of September 20th, 1996, when Gunnar was just 9 years old, his father decided to end it all using a gun. What made this already messed up situation even worse was the fact that Gunnar was in the room with his father and witnessed everything. Unsurprisingly, this took a heavy toll on Gunnar's mental health.
Dude, that's messed up.
He withdrew from the world and refused to accept his father's death as reality. Everything seemed hopeless for Gunnar. That is until primary school, when he met a girl named Hildur and instantly became infatuated with her. He'd admired her throughout school and into adulthood, but never found the courage to make a move, fearing he'd lose his only close friend. However, things changed in 2009 when Hildur got engaged to a man named Hannes. This gave Gunnar the push to do something about his feelings.
He
But
did.
given his shy personality, he still couldn't confront Hildur directly. So in March of 2009, he created a YouTube channel and uploaded his confession on there. Hildur never reciprocated his feelings, but the two remained friends. Even Hannes, Hildur's now husband, didn't seem to mind Gunnar's company, something he likely regretted deeply just a year later. It all went down on the 14th of August 2010. Hildur was invited to a party that Gunnar was attending as well. But things got a bit out of hand, and Hildur ended up drinking too much and passing out. Given their closeness, the task of getting her home safely was handed to Gunnar. But instead of dropping her off at Hannes' house like he should have, Gunnar took her to his own home. By the time Hildur woke up, it was already morning. She was understandably furious with Gunnar and immediately called one of her friends to drive her home. But nothing could have prepared Hildur for the horrific scene she witnessed on the other side of her front door. Her husband Hannes was lying on the top of the staircase near their bedroom, submerged in a pool of his own blood. She ran outside and called the authorities. Sadly, it was already too late. Hannes had received over 20 stab wounds on his body, from his arms and legs to the back of his neck, and was long dead by the time Hildur found him. Given his condition, his death was ruled a homicide, and investigators wasted no time in looking for the killer. And while they initially suspected one of his business rivals of committing this horrific crime, it didn't take long for investigators to find Gunnar's video confession to Hildur and bring him in for questioning. Gunnar denied knowing anything about it and was eventually let go due to lack of evidence. Fortunately, not all hope was lost, because not long after that, investigators found a bloody shoe print next to Hannes' bed. Looking deeper into this print revealed that it belonged to a pair of limited edition Adidas shoes. At the time, there were only 18 of these specific shoes in all of Iceland.
Wow.
And Gunnar just so happened to own one of these pairs.
Yep, you're
This
caught.
was enough evidence to detain him once again. This also gave investigators the authority to do a thorough search of his belongings, resulting in them finding residue of Hannes' blood on his shoes, as well as in his car. Once presented with this evidence, Gunnar confessed to the murder. He also revealed that he'd been planning it for months, and even shoplifted the items he intended to use to avoid purchase records linking back to him. And while he didn't admit to it, Hildur also suspected him of spiking her drink that night, since she usually never passed out like that. After committing the crime, he also drove to a nearby pier and dumped items used in the crime into the sea to get rid of any evidence. It was a well thought out plan, since he was only caught because the garbage bag he used to hide his shoe prints tore open as he walked. As for his motive, it was just as everyone had expected, with him making it clear during the investigation, stating, "I loved Hildur. She was supposed to be with me. She was not supposed to be with him." Surprisingly, he was found not guilty during his first trial on March 1, 2011 by reason of insanity stemming from his messed up childhood. However, the prosecution argued that he was fully aware of his actions and escalated the case to the Supreme Court of Iceland.
Not guilty?
Gunnar was found guilty on this second trial and was sentenced to 16 years in prison.
16?
This was already lenient given the brutality of his crime, yet he ended up
16?
serving only half of that sentence as well.
8?
He was released under supervision in July 2019 and now works at a local warehouse.
He killed somebody. He stabbed somebody and now he's out. Bro, this is his channel right here. Oh man, this is weird, bro. He posted this 16 years ago. This is the literal video.
Hi.
Oh, he doesn't even speak English, but oh my gosh, dude, look at the comments. People are like, bro, who's here from this? The fact that he's even allowed to walk free is mind-boggling. He should have been given the death penalty. Dude, that's facts, bro. This is insane, bro. What's up, dummies? We're about to react to the craziest convicts reacting to a life sentence. Look at this guy. He has to wear a mask because he's so dangerous. I think he like bites people or something. This lady's absolutely crying. This is going to be insane. They're going to be reacting to getting life in prison. Let's go.
Jaleel Smith Riley in a Cincinnati, Ohio courtroom, who police say confessed to a robbery killing a 20-year-old woman and seriously wounding her boyfriend. Portia Brooks was in her car with her boyfriend Aaron Martin when Smith Riley came up to her car with two others looking to rob them. When Smith Riley found out Martin didn't have any cash, he was shot in the head, leaving him with permanent brain damage. Smith Riley then shot at Brooks, which killed her 3 days later.
Oh my gosh.
Go back home. I just want to go home with this. This is somebody that feels genuine remorse. This is somebody that thinks about this every day, and he knows that he can't go back in time and undo what he did.
Now, Portia Brooks' mother delivers a victim impact statement.
This is her mom.
Me.
mentally, emotionally. He killed my identity as a mother of 3, as a family of 4.
This is now Brooke's sister speaking.
I have to deal with life without Portia, so he should deal with life without parole.
This is moments right before Jaleel Smith Riley gets the news that he will never be allowed to return home again.
Defendant serve a term of life without parole. As to count 4 for the offense of attempted murder.
I mean, like, I can't really feel bad for him, but like, it does suck. Like, I could tell that he was kind of sad. Most of the time you can tell if somebody's like sad they got caught, but it kind of seemed like he was sad. But I mean, if you murder people, bro, you gotta go to jail, bro. If you kill someone, you don't deserve to really be out. So let's go to the next one.
Diana Lovejoy. She used to be married to Greg Mulvihill living in Carlsbad, California, but soon their marriage fell apart and they divorced. After a messy divorce and lots of legal trouble, it ended with the court ordering Diana to pay $120,000 to Greg for his stake in their family house. The court also ordered that she must share custody of their son. Diana became furious about hearing the court orders, so she planned to kill her ex-husband by teaming up with her boyfriend, Weldon McDavid. Greg was shot in the torso, but luckily the bullet didn't hit his heart and he survived.
Wow, so she planned to kill him. She hired her boyfriend to kill him. He ended up surviving, and then now he's testifying against her. Oh.
Both McDavid and Diana conspired to murder, and the court has sufficient evidence against them.
It's so painful that some people in this world seem to think that I would have it in me to do this.
Interestingly, she fainted in court. She lowered her head down toward the defense table for a few seconds.
Verdict. We, the jury, find the defendant, Diana Jean Lovejoy, guilty of the crime of attempted murder of Greg Mulvihill.
And right when you hear guilty, you hear a thud.
Guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder.
It silenced the courtroom, aside from hearing her family cry in the background.
Wow. I think she's lying.
She then is brought onto the floor.
She's lying.
And when medics bring her out, she still appears to be passed out. But doctors later found out she had only fainted. Weldon McDavid received 50 years to life in prison because he was the one that pulled the trigger. And Diana was sentenced to 26 years to life in prison.
Wow.
This is Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari.
Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari. Is this like a boyfriend and girlfriend who are about to get life in prison?
A religious farming couple living in Cedar Springs, Michigan, and they are charged with murder of their 10-month-old girl, Mary Welch.
What, bro? Murdering their 10-month-old? Nah, bro. Y'all gotta go to jail for 3, 4, 5, 6 life sentences.
They told police they noticed the baby was skinny and underweight, but did not seek medical attention because of their religious beliefs and mistrust of medicine and the government. This is the 911 call of the father when he reportedly found his child dead.
How long ago did you find this child? It's about an hour and a half. I was waiting. I called my lawyer first thing to ask, what's the next thing I could do. So you found the child an hour and a half ago? Yeah. And called your lawyer first, correct? Yeah.
That is the dumbest. Like, what? Were you not taught? You found your child dead and you called your lawyer for an hour and a half and then you decide to call 911. What? That's enough.
When was the last time you had contact with a child? Last night, yesterday afternoon, about 3 p.m. She goes to bed.
At 3 p.m.?
That was that.
What?
Okay, so you put her to bed yesterday at 3 p.m.? Yeah, and then this morning at 10. So you're saying it's normal for your children to sleep?
Yeah, you put the baby to bed at 3 p.m. and then you woke up the baby at 10 a.m.? That means that baby went 12 plus 7. 19 hours? 19 hours with no water, no food, just sleeping? No.
Around 3 p.m. till 10 a.m. Usually about 9:30.
That's 19 hours.
And you said when you found her, she was already believed to be deceased, right? Yes.
No wonder. I mean, the baby hadn't had no water for...
And that's when you consulted with a lawyer? Yep. Do you believe she was beyond help already? Oh, yeah. She was dead as a doormat.
Oh my God, he just said she was dead as a doornail. Yeah, they're like, if your daughter or if I had a daughter or a son and they died, like, I don't even want to say this because I'm putting it in the universe, but like, I would obviously be sad. Everyone would be sad. Super sad. He's just like, yep, dead as a doornail. Like, you're...
Soon after, the autopsy revealed that the cause of death was malnutrition and dehydration due to neglect by the adult caregivers. And this is the moment they realize they will be spending the rest of their life behind bars.
That you're both charged with what they call felony murder while in the perpetration or attempted perpetration of child abuse in the first degree. They're alleging that you murdered one Mary Welch. That is a charge called homicide felony murder. It is life without parole.
Wow.
It requires
Oh my
a
God, look at
DNA
him.
sample to be taken upon arrest, which is often
Wow,
like
he's
a cotton
shocked.
swab or in the inside of your cheek.
Wow.
The second offense that you're both charged with is called child abuse in the first degree, where they're alleging you knowingly or intentionally caused serious
still
physical harm to a
shocked.
child. They're talking about this Mary Welch. It is a felony, possible penalty of up to life imprisonment or any term of years less than life.
Wow, bro. I mean, I feel like these people are very unaware. Maybe they weren't taught correctly because he was like, yep, oh yeah, she sleeps for 19 hours. Like, maybe he was just like not taught right, but still, you gotta be smarter than that, bro. 19 hours without water?
This is Ryan Stone, a Colorado man that went on a crime spree that spanned 5 counties and was broadcasted live by a news station's helicopter. Stone was convicted of carjacking 3
Oh my
vehicles,
gosh.
including one with a 4-year-old.
This is GTA 5, by the way, YouTube. It's
inside
fine.
the SUV. Authorities said when Stone sped away, he led police on a chase at speeds over 100 miles per hour. If we rewind here, you can just barely see a vehicle that Stone was driving clipping a trooper with the Colorado State Patrol as he was trying to play stop sticks. He ended up with serious injuries. You see Stone pull out another victim from their vehicle and drive off. He heads right into a busy intersection. And now, the chase is on foot. He books it off the road into a parking lot, running in between 2 buildings. As he slips on the ice, he loses his jacket. Now there's just a fence in his way, but nope, it's too high. Cops now close in and he finally surrenders. Stone is now in the county jail, but he believes he should be getting paid for his internet fame while bragging to his friends about the high-speed chase.
What?
Hey, did you know I made the news in the UK and Australia? What? Yeah, you get paid by YouTube. So, Channel 7 News, I believe, is going to be the one that gets paid for that. Well, I'm going to contact Channel 7 News. I want to get paid. You guys are getting paid using my name and my video footage.
During his opportunity to address the court about the recordings in jail, Stone blames it on emotional stress and the use of drugs.
We are going through trial after that. It was a week and a half trial. Extremely stressful. One of the phone calls about seeming like I was bragging about making international news, this, that, and the other. That was within the first week of being arrested. Still coming off of drugs.
Stone was convicted of 18 charges, including attempted manslaughter, child abuse, and assault. Then the judge sentenced him to 160 years in prison. This is Esteban Carpio.
Oh, we gotta see this. This is the guy from the...
The police were questioning him for the stabbing of an 85-year-old woman in Rhode Island. In the interview room was Carpio and 2 detectives. One of the detectives left the room to get water for Carpio, leaving just him and Detective Sergeant James Allen in the room.
Did he bite him and that's why he has to...
Carpio grabbed Allen's gun and then shot him twice, killing him. He then jumped out of a window which was 3 stories high and made a run for it, but was apprehended just 45 minutes later. At his arraignment, Carpio came in wearing a mask designed to stop the offender from spitting and biting at others.
Bro, he's a spitter and a biter? What is wrong?
With also his face being in rough shape, it stunned the courtroom.
Yeah, his face was all beat up because he jumped out of a 3-story window. You saw that broken glass? He busted through the glass. Wow, this is actually one of the craziest videos I've ever reacted to.
It wasn't so much Carpio with the shocking reaction, more so his family members, making accusations of police brutality.
Wow.
Step step out.
It's police brutality. He was mentally ill and he needed help and we couldn't get it. We tried and tried. And he didn't deserve this.
An FBI investigation concluded that the police did not use excessive force and that Carpio's injuries were sustained due to his jump from the 3rd floor of a building and struggle with law enforcement.
Every day, I face the facts of what I did and what happened.
He was sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Wow. His mom or his sister was saying like, oh, we tried to get mental help for him and you guys didn't help us, like he's mentally ill. Maybe he was actually mentally ill. I don't know. I'm not gonna make any judgments, but this is insane. And that is a creepy looking face with the mask on. Wow. What's up, dummies? Today we're reacting to a child kidnapper who got caught trying to bait children to get into his freaking van. Bro, I thought this was like a hoax. I didn't know people actually drove around in white creepy vans and tried to give kids free candy to capture them. We're about to see an actual case where a guy gets caught trying to bait children. Oh my God, this is gonna be insane. This video has 9 million views. We're about to check it out. Let's go.
This couple just tried to kidnap an innocent child by luring him into their van. And if the police don't capture them, dozens of other kids might fall victim to their scheme. But just 15 minutes later, they were surrounded and police had caught them red-handed.
Put your hands out! Do not put your hand down!
But there are more cases of child kidnappers being caught than you'd hope. Like when this man stole a car with a child in the back seat, or this man who was found with a group of underage girls that he claimed were his wives. But let's first take a look at these 2 kidnappers who tried snatching a child right in front of his mother.
So we got 4 cases of people who are trying to kidnap people. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God, leave the kids alone. All right, let's see it.
911 received a call from a distraught woman who claimed a couple tried to snatch her child from the street in front of her very eyes.
Really?
The child's father tried to stop them, but the couple fled. Police quickly arrived and immediately began a hunt in an attempt to stop 2 alleged kidnappers who could strike again at any moment.
I was driving right here. One white big van stopped right here, and one homeless lady with another man is coming outside the van and tried to take the baby of the lady. He's another. And he tried to put the kid inside the van.
He uses his son.
He uses his son?
Yes, he has another son, and he uses his son.
So who came out of the van and physically grabbed the kid?
No, tried to physically, the girl.
Which,
the girl.
Okay, that was inside the van. There was a male and a female occupying it. She pops out of the truck.
Yes.
Grabs your kid.
Tries to grab my
kid.
He say literally, listen to me. I want to go to the gas station. I'm gonna put gas in my truck. I'm gonna come back to kill everybody in this house.
Yo.
Calm down, man. Calm down.
Is it a beat up van? Is it a new van?
No, it's an old van. It's an old van. Maybe you can check the gas station.
Okay, so they don't know where he is yet, but I think they're gonna catch him.
Believe it or not, incidents like this are terrifyingly common. Over 840,000 children are reported missing every year, with roughly 16,000 of them reported to be victims of human trafficking. The couple is using their kid as bait to try and trick other kids into getting in their van. A disgusting scheme, but one kids will likely fall for.
Bro, so this old man and this old woman are using their kid to bait other kids to get in their car. So they tell their kid to run out there and go be friends with him and then bring him into the van. Bro, what?
However, criminals use white vans on purpose to blend in, and in less than a minute, they're making their first traffic stop.
Show me your hands. Stay forward. Stay forward.
Did they find him already?
Step back with me.
Stand out, stop passenger. Passenger stay.
Yeah, step backwards, step backwards. Come here, boss. Go ahead, just bring him back here for now. Just put him in my car. What happened? Just kidding.
This guy's innocent, I could tell. This guy's innocent.
All right, walk back to me.
They got the wrong people.
You can't blame the police for stopping this van, even though it's not the suspects they're looking for.
Bro, they got
this
the wrong
van
people.
is similar to the one the cops are looking for, but it's not as beat up as the victims described. But less than 10 minutes later, they think they've finally caught their suspect.
Hopefully, bro.
Because there was a description of a van like yours. I was trying to pick up 2 little kids.
Oh, no, I just left the office and get my fish sandwich right here.
Do you care? Can you just open the door just so we can make sure there's no kids or anything?
I believe this guy too.
Sorry.
I don't think it's him.
That, man. My kids, they call it the pedal van because it's...
Oh, yeah. You're good. All right, have a good one.
Luckily for the cops, third time was indeed the charm, as they initiate a traffic stop on a van that's beat up enough to be the one they're looking for, and with a male and female inside who match the description of the would-be kidnappers perfectly.
Nope, stay there. Stay in the car. Get back in the car.
Where are they at?
I got hit on my lip.
All right. Driver, put your hands out the window. Just keep your hands out the window.
Can you please listen?
Nope, I'm not going to listen right now.
Go ahead.
Drop your phone. Drop your phone.
Can you listen?
Put it down.
No.
Put it down, please.
I will put it down for you.
Just
Drop your phone.
I'm going to go to my son.
That's your son?
Yeah, that's my son.
Step out.
Hold on, puppy.
Turn towards the van. Turn towards the van.
So why are they trying to capture kids?
What's
I
up,
gotta
buddy?
figure this out.
You all right?
I got the kid as well.
Keep your hands.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
How's your dad work?
Want to step out? Here.
Yeah, no.
Here, step out. I got you. Come here.
Thankfully, the child with them is their own, but he has been involved in a potential kidnapping. It seems the suspect used their own child to try and entice their victim into the back of their van, and that
these kids
could land them with a charge for contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Bro, these
it's a
guys
first-degree
are using
misdemeanor
their
in
kid.
Florida
Bro,
and comes
why?
with a price of 1 year in jail. But they don't plan to serve a minute of that time as they try to manipulate the cops to get off scot-free.
Yeah, right. Listen, can't use the phone right now.
Why?
Because you're being detained.
How am I being detained for what?
You're being detained because you fit the description.
That doesn't matter. That's against the law, bro. That's against the law. Y'all didn't even read me my rights. Y'all didn't tell me nothing.
What's your first name?
For what?
You match the description
Of
a
what?
crime, of a crime.
Of a crime? Somebody that hit my baby mama in front of my son?
Relax.
You guys are
You
stealing
need to
my
move.
son.
I'm not stealing your son.
So why did you guys put him in that car over there?
Your foot back in.
To answer my question.
All right.
This looks nice.
You like it?
This is how it looks when you're in jail in the backseat of the cop car.
The reason it's blurred is because it's his child. They don't want to show the kid.
You didn't even read me my rights. Now you want to turn on your camera or check me now?
My camera.
The camera's been on. The camera's been on.
See, he's got a victim mentality. That's the difference between this guy and the other guys. The other guys that got pulled over, they were like, wait, what happened? Like, what happened? The other guy was like, oh, yeah, I was just going to get a fish sandwich. But this guy's trying to like put the blame on the officers. He's trying to say, oh, you guys didn't read me my rights. You guys didn't do that. When somebody's guilty, they try to blame other people. When somebody's not guilty, they don't blame anybody because there's nobody to blame. If you're being blamed and you're guilty, you don't want all that information, you don't want all that stress on you, so you try to push it out. This guy's guilty.
I violated my rights.
My camera's
You violated my
rights, bro.
Despite the seriousness of the situation, neither suspect seems to accept they're in trouble, and even claim to be the victim in this whole thing. The boy's father hasn't been seen since the incident, and it's believed he's out on the street looking for the suspects himself. But when he returns, he's finally able to paint a clearer picture of what went down.
They already had told me a month ago my daughter felt uncomfortable. That lady was trying to talk to her and shit.
Yeah.
But when she drove off, the lady comes out, starts, you mother, dude, don't worry, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get her, I'm gonna get her.
To you?
No, just out loud.
Oh.
So I'm right here and I'm like, what's going on?
So this girl and the people who got captured or whatever, the police got them. They're driving up and down neighborhoods stealing children. Why? Do you have nothing better to do with your life? Come on.
Right? And then she came running and just ran up to me. And I told her, yo, back up. And she just kept coming back. To the point that I wanted to hit her, but I didn't. I was grabbed dirt. I was gonna throw dirt at her.
Right.
But she swung at me and then spit at me. And as a reaction, I hit her in the mouth.
Your daughter's saying that the lady was like, come here. Ask her on the window.
That's what I was figuring. Because I remember she told me like a month
van.
ago that she felt like, that she was trying to take
and
her
then
something.
he's saying the same thing. The stories combined that the lady, both of them were like trying to get your daughter to come to the van.
After talking to the father, the cops realized that he only tried to defend himself and his child, confirming that the kidnapper's claims of being the victim in this situation were completely unjustified.
That's what I just
Without the
said.
dad's interference, one can only speculate what these two could have done with the kidnapped child. And
Yeah, so I hope he tells us why they're doing this, and I hope he tells us how long they go to jail for. Hopefully life.
unfortunate truth is that this was not an isolated incident. Over 250,000 children are abducted every year in the United States, and 22% of those are taken by strangers with primarily sexual motives. Kidnappings increasing year by year leads to situations where victims have to defend themselves. For example, on June 22nd, 2019, at around 10:30, Jolena Anderson has just finished work and is on her way home. That's when a car with two men pulls up beside her and tries to kidnap her.
What?
But luckily, she was able to do something genius. She firstly scares off the attackers, and secondly, alerts people nearby, all at the same time. case it was unclear, the victim used a handheld alarm to successfully scare the attackers off and bring others from around
She
the
had an
area to
alarm
save
in
herself
her
from the
purse.
kidnapping attempt. It's unclear if the attackers were caught, but luckily, Jolena was able to escape the situation completely unharmed. As well as the charge of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, the couple were also charged with enticing a child, which comes with a sentence of a year in jail and a $1,000 fine.
1 year?
The cops were able to bring this couple to justice using good old-fashioned police work, but this next kidnapper was caught when technology did all the work and led police to his exact location.
Oh my God.
Show me your hands.
In April 2022, a terrified woman watched as a man stole her car while she was trying to park at a Goodwill. The real horror, though, was that she had her 9-year-old son in the back seat, and the suspect has fled the scene. This is one of those occasions where it shows it's smart for children to use cell phones, as her son has in the car, and she was able to use the Find My iPhone tracker to locate him. But still, police are going to have to work fast, so they can start an immediate search of the area, including aerial support.
Can you believe that? This dude stole a car and there's a kid in the back. Maybe he was trying to steal the kid too, but the kid had a phone. This is crazy.
The radio, they're tracking the car to South Gordon and hold on, stand by. The area in the top of that location? It's right there. I'm gonna go look. You're up, look around Vogel Street and Evans Street. I got the car, Peoples and RDA.
It isn't long before the vehicle is spotted, and now the race is on to find the missing boy and bring him back home safely.
Go, 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 go.
You cut off on Peoples.
Give me the air. Peoples northbound towards Oak Street.
Dude, this is so intense. It's going so fast.
Just be a bit.
Dude, as a cop, you gotta know how to drive good, bro, because you gotta go fast and catch people.
To perform a precision immobilization technique, or pit maneuver, where the fleeing vehicle is nudged by a pursuing cop car and made to do a 180 in the middle of the road, bringing the pursuit to an end. It works perfectly here, and in seconds, the cops are swarming around the stolen vehicle with the suspect and his victim still inside.
Show me your hands. Show
You're trying to kill us! You're trying to kill us! Oh my gosh, you're trying to kill us!
What the hell, dude? He just pulled this guy over who stole a car and he's like, you're trying to kill us! You're trying to kill us! I expected him to be like fighting back. This guy sounds like a phony.
Oh my gosh, you're trying to kill me! Why would y'all do that, man? Get up. Please don't. Don't beat me up, man. Listen, don't get on that. Y'all trying to kill me. Don't fight me, man.
You see how in the last clip I said when people are guilty and they're victims, they try to put the blame on other people? He's doing this too. This guy knows that he's wrong for stealing this car and stealing the car with the kid. And now he's saying, oh, you tried to kill me. You tried to kill me. You made me crash my car. Like, he's saying, don't beat me up. He's acting like a victim. Why does everyone have a victim mentality, bro? Everything that happens to you in life is your fault.
Fight me. Stop. Don't fight me.
Don't fight me. You're hurting me.
As always, the main concern is the child, who in this case was brave enough to climb out the back of the window while the suspect was being arrested.
Come here. I can show you where she's at. I can show you. Yes.
Okay, you did it.
No.
You did a good job. You did a good job, man.
No.
You did a good job. You did a good job.
Excuse me.
You okay?
Yes.
You okay?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna take you to your mom. You all right? You okay? You okay?
My mom called you.
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
She did.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I want to go now.
Wow, that kid is panicked. Dude's shirt, like, this dude's shirt's inside out. Look, why are you stealing a car with your shirt inside out? Like, what did you do? Like, how did you wake up this morning? You just didn't, come on, bro.
That's messed up.
Oh yeah, it's the cops'
The
fault.
driver, Darius White, was charged with kidnapping, cruelty to children, and theft. He was out on a $20,000 bond last we heard, but with charges like those, he could be expecting a lengthy spell behind bars. But this 2-year-old boy was thrown into even more of a nightmare and was saved in one of the most dramatic police rescues we've ever seen.
Akron Police.
Come out. Hey, police!
In March 2024, a man parked up outside a store in Akron, Ohio, and left the engine running while he quickly popped inside for groceries. But that's when 54-year-old Larry Spence jumped in his vehicle and drove it away. In the backseat was the man's 2-year-old son, and police needed to find the vehicle and bring the boy home safely.
Somebody stole, okay, so in the last clip, somebody stole a car that had like a 9-year-old boy in it. That kid was old enough to, you know, have a phone and have his location. But this guy stole a car with a 2-year-old. The 2-year-old doesn't have a phone, doesn't have a location. The 2-year-old can't even communicate. Oh my God.
Nobody walk down there, right? Listen, here's the... Don't walk down there. You might get him. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. That guy just kidnapped his daughter. Okay, the daughter's in the car, so it's kind of a big deal. That's why everybody's here.
Oh my God.
So,
I put it on my kid's life.
Nobody walked. Where'd he go, though?
I had to have been that way. I wasn't paying attention. I was talking to my grandma.
Let's get the A. Let's get perimeter on the tap.
Police tracked Spence's vehicle to this local bar using the flock camera system, which uses license plate recognition technology to help locate wanted vehicles. The flock camera system was installed in 2022 and has helped assist in various crimes ever since, becoming an ever useful tool in the fight against crime.
Wow.
Akron police, come out. Hey, Akron police!
Come outside.
That isn't the same guy, is it?
Get someone cuffed. Hey.
Anyone inside, come out now with your hands up!
Hands up now. Oh, we got mail coming out to your right.
That isn't him.
You see, how many people are in here still? Any white males in there?
No. No white males in here. Oh my God.
Does anybody know what's going on there?
No.
Anyone else inside?
Nope.
Wait, what?
No one else.
Nobody else is inside.
Take left in.
Is that task force apprehension, so it's not related to this?
Huh.
That's what you guys are looking for.
What if he was hiding behind the? What if he was hiding behind the curtain? Dude, that would be funny.
They got Larry.
They got him.
Where is he?
The vehicle was found on East Street and Florida Avenue, and the boy was still strapped in his car seat, unaware of the danger he was in.
Oh my God.
It's okay.
Just a baby in the back. Just has no idea what's happening.
It's okay, buddy.
Bad.
It's okay. You're all right. You like? Check this out. You like flashlights? No. It's okay.
You don't like flashlights?
You want to hold this?
No.
Imagine when this kid grows up, bro. He's gonna be like, "Oh, this was me, bro." His dad's gonna tell him all about this. That would be sick. I kind of wish that I was kidnapped at like 2 years old. Like, I hope I was returned, but like, dude, if I was kidnapped at 2 years old, that'd be so sick.
No. All right. It's okay. Here, I'm gonna take you out. Okay, it's okay. Let's get you out of here. It's okay. Your jammies wet. It's okay. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It seems like the excitement has finally gotten the better of the young child, but this cop tries his best to make him feel safe until his parents can arrive and try to distract him from the man who's just kidnapped him, as he's being placed into the back of a patrol car, ready to await his fate.
You're all right. You're a brave boy. You're a big brave boy. We're gonna get you home to your daddy. Think this is gonna work? You're the father here. Just wrap it around him. Yeah, we could just. Yeah, here. We don't want you to get cold. I just uncle part-time and every now and then babysit. All right, have a seat, boss.
So this is the guy that took the car with the kid in it, bro. Bro, he weird, bro. What the? Huh?
Spence was charged with grand theft auto of a motor vehicle and is still waiting to go to trial as of May 2024. But he could be facing a long time behind bars, as a kidnapping charge alone can come with a 10-year sentence to life. But none of these cases have been quite as horrifying as this next one, when a driver was pulled over hiding not just a truckload of underage girls, but what could only be described as a polygamist cult.
Where are the hands? Let's see the hands. Let's get that other door open.
There was hands sticking out of the top of the trailer.
Motorists in Flagstaff, Arizona became concerned.
I've been there. I've been to Flagstaff, Arizona.
Seeing something wrong with a pickup truck driving through town. There appeared to be fingers poking out of the trailer the pickup was towing. And when caught up with the vehicle, they found self-proclaimed prophet Samuel Bateman behind the wheel, and he had several young girls with him, raising a lot of eyebrows. Even though some of these girls were minors, it's suspected that they are among his 20 wives.
What?
No one in the bed of the truck. There's no one in the trailer.
Let's get everyone out of the car.
Come on out.
Everyone out of the car. Let's start taking them back to the cars.
You guys have IDs? No.
They're not
We're
talking.
gonna start heading back there.
Come with me.
I'll come. Don't touch me.
Bateman had several young girls with him in the pickup, and police suspect there's even more in the back of his
No
trailer.
way.
But police aren't prepared for what they find when they open the door.
This is the police! We're gonna be opening the door! I want your hands empty and above your head! If you do not, you will suffer the consequences!
Dude, they better not have anything in their hand, boy, they can get shot.
Where are the hands? Let's see the hands.
Let's get that other door open.
There was hands sticking out of the top of the trailer. Let's see your hands. They're in front.
Behind the curtain. Okay, keep your hands up for me. Go and walk out towards me, okay? Try not to slip, all right?
Inside, there were makeshift beds and 3 girls aged between 11 and 14.
Oh my God.
Bateman ran his own church and was rumored to have a nasty temper that he inflicted on anyone who didn't do as he asked. He was able to manipulate his followers, even building intimate relationships with minors.
man,
This
what?
could explain why these girls simply refuse to cooperate with police, even if they want to.
How old are you? 14. How old are you? 11. How old are you? 12. You? How old are you? How old are you? You don't have to say, or you just following her? Okay. Does everyone have water? Anyone like needing water or anything? You guys? Okay, we'll do that as soon as our investigation is done here, okay? Why children are being transported in a vehicle, we're getting calls about hands sticking out of a vehicle, out of the trailer.
Why does this guy have all these girls with him?
That is why we're contacting you guys.
And they meet with similar resistance from Bateman himself,
All right,
who
we're gonna
seems
see.
unusually uncomfortable having to give police any information at all.
How many other people are in the truck? Well, I just want to know who's inside the truck right now, so that way I know who else we're dealing with here. Or else I'm going to call everybody out.
As you can see, it's a pretty serious deal here, sir. What's your name? Samuel. Samuel what? Do I have to tell you my name? I'm asking for your name. I don't have to tell you, right? Sir. Yes, sir.
Is he the driver?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to identify yourself. You understand that, right?
I don't know. I just wanted, yeah, Samuel Bateman.
Samuel, I just got here. Explain to me what's going on.
Calm down first.
I am calm.
You're being videoed.
Yeah, you're being videoed as well. Okay.
His alleged wives seem more concerned for Bateman than the fact he's placed some of
He
them
has
in danger
multiple
by driving them
wives?
around in the back of his trailer. It seems no matter what these cops try,
He's a
only one of the
dog.
girls is willing to speak, and even she remains defiant.
Right now, we're just investigating.
We're just investigating.
what's going on, okay? You're not being charged with anything at the moment. You're not free to go because we are conducting an investigation. What about him?
At this point, he's detained right now. I don't know. Okay, I understand that, but like he said, once we do our investigation, we can figure this out. But we just need you guys to give us your names and stuff.
No, ma'am.
No.
You're not going to
Go
decide.
like
the outcome
Peyton
of this.
Manning.
We will decide, and we'll let you know how everything's going to happen here, okay? So do me a favor. When I talk to you, I'll talk to you. When I talk to someone else, don't answer for them. Oh, they have no reason to be afraid of me. The only reason I've had to keep addressing you is because you keep stepping in, and I need to be able to talk to each and every one. Okay? We are just trying to figure this out right now, what is going on, okay?
It is not normal practice for people to be transported in a trailer.
A follower of Bateman later revealed how he was taken advantage of by using his deep-seated Mormon faith against him. He was so devoted that he allowed scheming Bateman to marry several of his wives and even helped fund his lavish lifestyle.
Samuel Bateman, what's your date of birth? Let's run him. What is your date of birth, sir?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir. Turn
on your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Let's not do this right now, huh?
You are being detained until you identify yourself.
Do I have to tell my name?
Yes, you have to identify yourself. You are being detained for a crime.
Samuel Bateman.
We're still putting you in handcuffs, so just sit tight. We're just going to identify you, figure out what's going on, and we'll go from there. The reason I'm detaining you is because you failed to identify yourself when I asked. Okay?
I did. I said Samuel Bateman.
Yeah, what about date of birth?
Why didn't you ask me my social security number?
That would have worked too.
Oh, sir, can you bend back so I can lock this in? That's kind of hurting me. Well, I need you to cooperate here.
What I'm looking at, after discussing that with the sergeant, so.
I'll just stay right now. I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
Bateman was arrested and released on bond, but this would only be the start of his legal worries, as he was arrested again a month later after police discovered he'd told his wives to delete messages and incriminating evidence from their phones. Altogether, he racked up 51 felony charges that include the most disgusting crimes against children. Bateman is being held without bail in a private prison in Arizona and still awaiting trial.
So this guy's a weirdo. Man, if y'all are children, be safe, because these people are weird. What's up, dummies? Today we're about to react to 4 teenage killers reacting to a life sentence. So we're gonna see some teenagers who ended up killing people and their reactions to being sent to life in prison. This is gonna be insane. Teenagers killing.
This is Mackenzie Sharilla. She's a 17-year-old who was found guilty of murder for causing a car crash that killed her boyfriend and his friend.
Oh my gosh, look at that car, bruh. Oh my god, this is her reaction.
And he decided death was the ultimate goal that day. This was not reckless driving. This was murder.
Sharilla's boyfriend, Dominic Russo, and his friend, Davian Flanagan, were in the car when she crashed into the side of a commercial building outside of Cleveland.
Did she mean to crash into it, or?
Going 100 miles per hour.
Oh,
Both men were pronounced dead at the scene, and Sharilla survived. Prosecutors argued that the teen had a toxic relationship, and Sharilla had made violent threats against her boyfriend.
Bro, she's like 17. Okay, let's see her reaction.
His property. She tried to break into his house.
Correct.
Reportedly, she crashed her car on purpose because she wanted to kill her boyfriend, and that his friend was just collateral damage. The prosecutor said the intent was obvious upon seeing that video, that there was only one goal.
You see her driving very calmly and making the right turn, and then all evidence indicates she immediately put the pedal to the metal and drove straight into a building at 100 miles per hour. I think those really demonstrated to us that this was no accident.
And a few days before the crash, she allegedly took the same route to plot the crime. This is where the judge now finds her guilty.
Count 1. Finds the defendant, Mackenzie Sharilla, guilty of murder. To wit, Dominic Russo.
She now stands up to be placed in handcuffs as she continues to tear up.
Count 2. Finds the defendant, Mackenzie Sharilla, guilty of murder. To wit, Davian Flanagan.
Sharilla now has a moment to speak before her sentencing.
The families of Dom and Davian, I'm so deeply sorry. I hope one day you can see I would never let this happen or do it on purpose. I wish I could remember what happened. I'm just so sorry. I'm heartbroken.
There was no medical condition that caused this as an accident. There was no mechanical failure of the car. A failed suicide attempt is not a defense to murder. There's a very good likelihood, Mackenzie, that you will spend the rest of your life in prison. She's sentenced on count 1, 15 years to life. Count 2, 15 years to life, to be served concurrent to each other.
The judge just sentenced her to 15 years to life in prison.
Wow.
This is Aiden Fucci, who pled guilty in court for the murder of his classmate when he was only 14 years old.
What? Oh my gosh, bro.
We're having fun in a cop car.
Yep. Fucci was classmates with a 13-year-old girl from Patriot Oaks Academy in St. Johns County, Florida. Fucci stabbed her 114 times. Her dead body was later recovered from the woods. After Fucci was arrested, he can be seen in the back of the cop car taking Snapchats. Now this video shows Fucci and his parents in the interrogation room.
The Snapchat that you did, those numbers,
Like you're all over the internet, Negro. This is serious.
This is very serious.
This is no joke.
Wow,
this is your
this is
whole
his
life.
parents.
Your whole life.
And hers.
And ours.
A video from prosecutors showed Fucci and the girl allegedly walking together right before she was murdered. Then about 90 minutes later, the video shows Fucci allegedly running away from the area where the body was found.
114 stab wounds, 49 defensive wounds, 35 wounds to the head and neck, 29 to the back and shoulder, and 6 fatal wounds.
He doesn't even look like he cares, bro.
After Fucci pled guilty to first-degree murder, the judge now hands down his sentence.
Having entered a plea of guilty to the crime of first-degree murder, I sentence you to life in prison. Because of your age, you are eligible for review of the sentence in 25 years.
Wow, 25 years and then he gets to review his sentence, but he's sentenced to life.
After Fucci was sentenced, he stood still with a little movement.
Yeah, he didn't even react, bro. Okay, here's the next one. This is kind of interesting seeing how that first girl, she reacted. She was like, no, but then this guy was just like, I don't care. Like, wow.
This is Willard Miller and Jeremy Goodale. And at just 16 years old, they are both charged for the murder of their high school Spanish teacher.
What? Why would you kill your Spanish teacher? I mean, I hate Spanish. I never want to learn Spanish, but this is crazy.
Reportedly, it was over a bad grade.
We then
over a bad grade.
Moved her off of the trail, where I then struck her, and she died as a result.
Miller and Goodale went to Fairfield High School in southeastern Iowa. Nohema Graber was the Spanish teacher at the school, and Miller was one of her students. After he received a bad grade from Graber, he and his friend Goodale planned to kill her.
Why did this guy even help him? The other guy got the bad grade. It's like, oh, dang. I just got to, I'm going to call my friend. Oh, dang, I just got an F on this test, bro. Will you help me kill the teacher? What? This is insane.
I'll stand up here, look out, wait for Miss Graber to show up.
Graber went for her usual walk at Chautauqua City Park. The boys knew that as they stalked her and they waited to ambush her.
Here she comes, and she walked by, hit her in the back of the head, and then I said, "Oh shit, make sure she's dead." So we hit her a couple more times.
They then dragged her into the woods and beat her to death with a baseball bat.
Bro.
After that, there wasn't really a plan beyond that. Like hide the body, bury the body, save the body. At that time, we were going to hide the body. I guess in our arrogance, we kind of assumed that nobody would ever find her.
Not long after, both boys were arrested. Court documents allege that the witness who knew Goodale showed law enforcement Snapchat messages that showed Goodale and Miller's involvement in the murder. One of the Snapchat messages saying, "Point of view, you're my Spanish teacher, and this is the last thing you see," followed by "Time to hide a body."
What?
Jeremy Goodale would later plead guilty and testify against his best friend Miller.
I understood that he had the intent to kill Mrs. Graber.
What is your plea to murder in the first degree, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
This is the moment that Goodale gets to speak before his sentence.
I've had time to think on what to say, and I'm sorry, truly sorry. Every day I wish I could go back and stop myself. I can't comprehend losing a loved one in such an awful way.
And now the judge hands down his sentence.
The defendants shall be sentenced to life with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
Now for Miller. This is him apologizing before he receives his sentence.
I would like to take this opportunity to wholeheartedly accept responsibility for the role that I've played.
He does not care.
In the human Graber. To the family, I'm sincerely sorry for the distress that I've caused you and the devastation. And I ask that I'm given a chance, and I don't want to be institutionalized. I don't want to be in so long that I forget about what matters, where I come from, and I look forward to getting through this.
And now
I look forward to getting through that. You're just not. I mean, you killed
the
someone.
judge has some final last words.
The defendant, Willard Noble Chayton Miller, should be sentenced to life with the possibility of parole after 35 years.
Miller seems to be completely unfazed.
Wow. He didn't care.
This is Rachel Schoaf and Sheila Eddy. who were both in court today for the murder of their friend when they were only 16 years.
Bro, 16? Like, that's when you get your driver's license and you're already doing stuff like this, bro.
Their scheme was to hide knives on their bodies and to attack Skylar at an agreed upon moment.
In Star City, West Virginia, Shof and Eddie were friends with 16-year-old Skylar Neese.
So this is the girl that passed away. Man, this is crazy, bro. They seem like normal girls, you know, like they just, these are the girls you would see when you go to Target and they're over here buying makeup and stuff.
Reportedly, Shof and Eddie decided they didn't like Neese anymore, so they planned to kill her.
Bro, what? You don't like your friend anymore, so you're just... Bro, just stop hanging out with them, bro. There's been plenty of friends that I had, and then I realized, like, maybe they're not the best friends, and I just stopped hanging out with them. What?
Sheila, Eddie, and Rachel Shof carried out that plan. Together, they stabbed and killed Skylar.
After Shof's confession, both teens were arrested. Shof agreed to plead guilty to second-degree murder in exchange for her cooperation in the case.
I'm so sorry. I don't know if there's a proper way to make this apology because there are not even words to describe the guilt.
I mean, yeah, how do you, like, because they're always given a chance to talk to the family, like, of the people that they killed. What are you gonna say? Like, you can't really say anything to make the family feel better. They literally lost their family.
Remorse that I feel each day for what I've done. I hurt the Neese family and those who love Skylar. I hurt my parents and shamed my family. May God bring eternal peace to Skylar and the entire Neese family.
After securing a plea deal, the judge now gives Shof her sentence.
Rachel Shof, it is the sentence of the court that you be imprisoned in the West Virginia State Penitentiary for a period of 30 years.
But she will have the possibility of parole in 10 years.
Bro, why are they going easy on the girls? 30 years and you can have parole in 10 years, but those guys pretty much did the same thing and they got, I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, support these killers because they, I mean, they all deserve to just, you know, learn and, you know, become, you know, better people, but what?
It is the sentence of the court that you be imprisoned in the West Virginia State Penitentiary for the rest of your natural life.
Wow,
that
this
sentence
girl
is technically with mercy, which makes you eligible for parole after you have served 15 years.
This girl got life in prison. That's freaking crazy, bro. What's up, dummies? We're about to react to the longest prison sentences in U.S. history. Apparently, this guy named James Holmes went to prison for 3,300. Why? What did you do that was so bad that you deserve to get 3,000 years in prison? You're gonna die in like 40 years. We're gonna find out what these people did to deserve the craziest prison sentences ever. Let's go.
In 1993,
Anderson.
a newlywed woman was driving home in Tulsa when 3 men rammed her car off the highway.
Wait,
what followed lasted hours. They dragged her to a motel, then to her own home. They abused her over and over, 13 separate times across 3 locations before she managed to reach a phone and call for help. Darren Benelford Anderson was one of those men. In 1994, a jury sentenced him to 2,200 years.
This guy got like 2,000 years because he tortured. I mean, okay, torturing somebody is messed up. The fact that he took this girl to another location, tortured her, then another location, like it proves that he's really messed up. But 2,000 plus years? What the? All right, let's go to the next one. I think these are going to get longer and longer.
James Holmes studied neuroscience to fix what he called his broken brain.
What?
Brilliant. Top 1% on his entrance exams. PhD program.
Okay, so this guy was
research grant.
smart.
On paper, everything a parent hopes for. Inside, he'd been fantasizing about mass murder since he was a teenager. By 2012, Holmes was falling apart. His girlfriend left. His grades collapsed. He began seeing shadow figures fighting at the edges of his vision. A psychiatrist worried he was dangerous. Then he started shopping. 4 guns, 6,000 rounds, body armor.
6,000 bullets? Why do you need 6,000? Okay, he's gonna do a horrible crime. He needs to be sent to jail for 1 billion years. I don't give a damn. 6,000 bullets?
He rigged his apartment with explosives. In a notebook, he invented a scoring system. 1 point per life taken. On July 20th, he walked into a midnight screening of The Dark Knight Rises in Aurora, Colorado. Tear gas first, then a shotgun blast into a crowd that couldn't see him through the smoke. 12 people died. 70 were hurt. When police found him in the parking lot, he wasn't running. He was calm, almost curious.
Wait, what? When the police got to him after he murdered a bunch of people, he was calm. He didn't even try to run away. Yeah, he's got to go to jail for 5,000 years.
The jury convicted him on all 165 counts. 1 vote saved him from death. The judge gave him 12 life sentences plus 3,318 years.
12 life sentences plus 3,300. Why does he get that many years? If anybody understands why they're doing that many years, let me know. But he deserves it. I'm not gonna lie, he actually deserves it.
Get the defendant out of my courtroom. Ariel Castro.
All right, here's the next one. Ariel Castro.
Ariel Castro drove a school bus every morning, went to church every Sunday. He played bass in a salsa band. His neighbors called him quiet. His daughter called him the best dad in the world.
Wait, is this guy... Wait, so if this guy's daughter thinks he's the best dad ever, if he drives the school bus every day, if he goes to church all the time, this can't be a bad guy, right? I mean, his hairline, Jesus Christ. You see that hairline? That's the only thing bad about him, but let's see.
But behind the boarded windows of 2207 Seymour Avenue, 3 women were chained to the walls. He'd taken them one by one. Amanda Berry, 16, was snatched walking home from work.
He snatched a 16-year-old. He kidnapped a 16-year-old and tied her up in a abandoned house.
Gina DeJesus, 14.
14-year-old. Okay, yep. He's going to jail for 5,821 years. That's my prediction. 5,821.
Was lured into his car because he was her friend's father. Michelle Knight, 21, was grabbed while heading to a custody hearing. For a decade, he kept them locked away, fed once a day, abused hundreds of times. When Knight got pregnant, he beat her until she miscarried.
What? This guy kept 3 girls captured, kidnapped for 10 years and nobody knew? What?
5 times. When Barry gave birth on Christmas Day, Castro forced Knight to deliver the baby. He said he'd kill her if it didn't survive. In May 2013, Barry kicked through a door and screamed. Police found all 3 alive.
Oh my gosh.
Castro pleaded guilty to 937 counts. Life plus 1,000 years. He told the judge he wasn't a monster. He was just sick.
Bro, I captured 3 women and tortured them for 10 years and kidnapped them for 10 years and forced them to deliver babies with no medical supervision, but I'm not a bad guy. Yeah, right, bro. His hairline's still messed up. No wonder you had to capture and kidnap a bunch of girls. You couldn't get any girls. What's wrong with your head?
He hanged himself in his cell. The man who imprisoned 3 women for a decade couldn't survive 33 days of captivity.
Wow.
Bobby Joe Long.
Bobby Joe Long? That's somebody's actual name? Dude, no wonder he went to prison. I would hate my life if my name was Bobby Joe Long.
Bobby Joe Long used to answer classified ads. Women selling lamps, blenders, furniture. He'd call, and if a woman sounded like she lived alone, he'd drive to her house.
Oh my God, that's actually messed up. So he would go on like Facebook and like try to buy stuff from people. You know how people sell stuff on Facebook, eBay. He would call and say, hey, I'm interested in that ladder that you're selling. And if it sounds like it's a girl and she sounds single, he would go and meet up and then probably do weird. Oh my God, he needs 1 billion years. I don't care. I'm going to predict that he gets 3,000 years for this.
That's how he abused more than 50 women across Tampa Bay.
Okay, never mind. 50 women? I thought he only did it once. 580 billion years.
Before anyone knew his name. Police couldn't connect the cases. Victims were too shaken. Long never struck the same place twice. Then in 1984, he stopped letting them live. Over 8 months, he abducted at least 10 women off the streets of Hillsborough County, strangled them, and left their bodies across Florida. What brought him down was a 17-year-old named Lisa McVeigh. Long grabbed her off her bicycle at 2 in the morning and kept her blindfolded for 26 hours. But McVeigh didn't panic. She memorized the turns in the road, the sound of an ATM, the layout of his apartment, and pressed her fingerprints into every surface she could touch. When he released her, she went straight to the police. Within days, they were at his door. He confessed to 8 murders. The court sentenced him to death plus 28 life sentences, and he sat on death row for 33 years before Florida executed him in 2019.
Wow.
The girl he let live ended everything. Sholem
Shout
Weiss,
out to her, bro. This is actually the smart girl.
The girl he let
This is the girl that he abducted, and she put her fingerprints all over his place, and she escaped. So shout out to her, bro. This guy deserved 1 billion years,
ended
bro.
everything.
All right, let's hear the next one.
Sholem Weiss. Sholem Weiss never touched a weapon. He wore a suit, carried a briefcase, and walked into boardrooms instead of banks. But what he stole destroyed more lives than most violent criminals ever could. In the early 1990s, Weiss helped drain $450 million from a Florida insurance company whose policyholders were mostly elderly retirees. Thousands of people lost their life savings.
Wait, so he was a scammer. He would like act like he was an insurance and he would take people's money. Yeah, see, he deserves to go to jail, bro. Scamming is so, like one of the worst things. If you steal from anybody or anything, you're literally
The company collapsed, the largest insurance failure caused by criminal acts in American history. Prosecutors offered him a 5-year plea deal. He refused and demanded
5 years? They offered him 5 years for scamming a bunch of people? Wait, so why is he on this video? Did he end up getting caught for doing
a trial. He got one, 9 months long. But while the jury was still deliberating, Weiss shaved his beard, grabbed a fake passport, and vanished. He
my
fled
gosh.
to Israel, then Brazil, then Belgium, then Austria, living on stolen millions while his victims counted their losses back home. He was found guilty on all 78 counts in absentia. The judge sentenced him to 845 years in prison.
845 years, bro. How, like, why does that even make any sense? Like, I know, like, maybe the judge is just mad, so he sentences him to, like, a bunch of years. But how does that make sense? He's gonna die in, like, 20.
The longest white-collar sentence in American history. Austrian police eventually caught him. He was extradited in 2002 and began serving his time. Then on January 19th, 2021, his last full day in office, President Trump commuted the sentence. Weiss walked out of prison the next morning. 845 years reduced to 18. Terry Nichols. On April 19th, 1995, a rented truck loaded with 2 tons of fertilizer and fuel oil exploded outside the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City. The blast tore the north face off the building. 168 people died, including 19 children in a second-floor daycare.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
McVeigh built the bomb and drove the truck. He was executed.
Oh my God, this guy blew up
in 2001, but he didn't do it alone. Terry Nichols helped buy the fertilizer. He helped steal explosives from a Kansas quarry. He helped rob a gun dealer to fund the plot. The night before, he helped McVeigh mix everything in the truck. Then he drove home and waited. When the building came down, Nichols was hundreds of miles away. He turned himself in 2 days later, and police found blasting caps, ammonium nitrate, a hand-drawn map of downtown Oklahoma City, and a receipt bearing McVeigh's fingerprints. The federal jury convicted him but deadlocked on the death penalty. Oklahoma tried him again. 161 counts of murder, 1 for every victim.
Okay, what is this? Dudley Wayne Kaiser. It shows somebody playing with a dog, playing with the... This looks so happy, bro. I have a feeling this guy's gonna be a creep.
On Halloween afternoon in 1976, Dudley Wayne Kaiser drove to his ex-wife's mother's house in Tuscaloosa.
Wait, they said on Halloween night? Don't tell me he's gonna like dress up as like a Halloween character, like a scary guy, and then
Alabama. His 6-year-old son was outside playing with puppies when his father walked through the door. Inside, Kaiser and his estranged wife started arguing. When the mother-in-law reached for the phone, Kaiser drew a pistol from his belt and shot her in the forehead. Then he shot a college student who happened to be there. Then he chased his wife outside. She grabbed her son and pushed him to run. The boy made it to a neighbor's porch, but his mother collapsed in the driveway. The boy was the only witness, 6 years old, testifying against his own father.
Oh my God.
Kaiser was sentenced to death, but Alabama's death penalty was struck down, and at his retrial, the jury needed another way to make sure he'd never walk free. They gave him 2 life sentences and 10,000 years for the third murder.
Bro, 10,000 years! 10,000 years!
It made the Guinness Book of World Records as the longest sentence ever on a single count.
Bro, so this guy has the Guinness World Record of the longest sentence on 1 count. Bro, 10,000 years, look at him. He's depressed. Bro, if I was sitting in jail for 10,000 years, I'd be like, bruh, what the hell do I do?
Kaiser has applied for parole 10 times since, but denied every time. He's still alive, still locked up, still waiting for a yes that will never come. Paul Geidel. In 1911, a 17-year-old
1911, bro, this is a long time ago.
Orphan named Paul Geidel was working as a bellhop at a New York City hotel. One night, he sneaked into a guest room, pressed a chloroform-soaked rag to the man's face, and tried to rob him. The man suffocated, and Geidel escaped with a few dollars. He was arrested.
He robbed somebody for a few dollars?
2 days later and sentenced to 20 years to life. In 1926, as he approached parole, Geidel was declared insane and sent to Dannemora State Hospital. He stayed 46 years. In 1972, he was moved to Fishkill, a facility for elderly inmates where rooms looked more like dormitories than cells. In 1974, after 63 years behind bars, Geidel was finally offered parole, but he said no. He had no family, no one waiting. He'd gone in as a boy and was now 80. He didn't recognize the world outside. "I can't make it out there," he told a visitor. "They treat me well here." He stayed 6 more years. On May 7th, 1980, at 86, Paul Geidel walked out, 68 years after he'd walked in. "No publicity, please," he said with a smile. He died in a nursing home 7 years later.
That's actually pretty crazy. So this guy went to jail at like 17 years old, and then he was in jail until he was like 80, and then he finally got out, and he was like, I don't even want to really get out. Like, I don't know. Damn, that's crazy. So he spent his whole life in prison.
He died in a nursing home 7 years later.
Rest in peace,
Charles Scott Robinson.
Charles Scott Robinson.
In 1994, a jury in Oklahoma convicted Charles Scott Robinson of abusing a 3-year-old girl.
Okay, yeah, he deserves 8,004,826 trillion years, bro. What is wrong with
6 counts. The kind of crime where the jury doesn't want you locked up. They want you erased. Under Oklahoma law, they couldn't give him life without parole. It wasn't an option for his charges, so the jury found another way to say what they meant. 5,000 years on each count. Judge Dan Owens stacked all 6 consecutively. 30,000 years, the longest prison sentence ever handed down in the United States.
30,000 years for abuse. I mean, dude, abusing a little kid, bro. Just why, bro?
By doing that, the judge told Robinson, I can assure you will spend the rest of your natural life in the Department of Corrections. The jury foreman put it differently. We've seen too many instances of early release. We can't control what happens after this, but by God, we can send a message.
So the reason I'm starting to understand, the reason they give like 30,000 years is because sometimes people get their sentences released. Like if somebody gets like 80 years, sometimes they can apply to get like 50 years and then they get out when they're older. But these judges were like, hey, you're not getting out. I don't care if your 30,000 year sentence gets reduced in half to 15,000, or if it gets reduced 90%, you're still going to be wow.
Robinson's public defender called it a joke. The prosecutor said it was the point. Corrections logged it as 6 life terms, each worth 45 years. Even under the most generous parole math, Robinson couldn't walk free until he was 108. Some sentences aren't about time. They're about making sure the door never opens again.
30,000 years, that's pretty insane, bro. He's never seeing the light of day. What's up, dummies? We're about to react to an evil mom that doesn't realize that she's a terrible liar. Apparently, this mom said that her son is missing, but she's lying. This is gonna be a creepy video. Hopefully she didn't like kill her son or whatever, but let's see this.
So how do we find Alika?
Huh?
I don't know. You're not
lying.
I can already tell, bro. Like this is somebody's mom. She's evil, bro. I can already tell. Like there's just something about how she's acting, bro. This is gonna be creepy, bro.
You got some blood drops on your shoes.
This is Janet Garcia.
He just noticed that this girl has blood on her shoes. Don't tell me she killed her. Okay, let's watch this.
27 years old. Police in Clark County, Everett, Washington meet her at a rehabilitation center. They're there because of several reports about her missing 4-year-old son, Ariel.
Missing 4-year-old son?
Who called police to report Ariel missing was his grandmother, Maria. Investigators quickly learned that Ariel was last seen with his mother. Once they locate Janet, they begin talking to her, trying to make sure the boy is safe.
What's going on today?
Can I open the zipper? Yeah. Just checking it. Thank you. I just want to make sure before.
What's going on today with you? And like, sounds like the cops have been talking to you already.
Yeah. So
You got some blood drops on your shoes.
Yeah.
In the call with police, Ariel's grandmother reports something alarming. After going to Janet's apartment, she says she found several spots of blood inside.
So my son fell this morning earlier.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I was able to take him to the doctors and everything was okay. I took him with another lady so she can watch him for me because I wasn't staying at home. I had problems going on with my parents and they didn't let me in the house. So
what?
I was staying with another lady. She was super sweet. That's where my son fell. And then, but we left, so I was like, okay, you know. So I went to another lady's house.
Okay, she's yapping, bro. I'm pretty sure the cops literally asked her, okay, where is your son? Because her son's missing, right? She's over here saying, oh, I was hanging out with this lady. She's really sweet. Like, that's what people do when they're lying. They just like add to the story. Just tell them where your son is. You're a mom. How do you not know the location of your son?
And I told her if she could watch him for me, I wanted to come get, you know, I wanted to fully recover. I'm an alcoholic, so I was like, if you can watch him for me for 12 months, that'd be amazing. Because
damn, what? This girl's talking about how she's an alcoholic and she asked this lady if she could watch her son. I thought she meant like, oh, could you watch my son for 30 minutes? Or like, could you watch my son for today? She said she asked this lady to watch her son for 12 months. That's a whole year. You want to go a whole year without looking at your son? You're weird.
My mom, and she's the one that has like, just like a notarized paper saying that she has legal custody of them, but I have legal custody of them. She's not letting me see my older son, so I'm a little.
That would be really hard.
Yeah, I'm a little bit upset about that one. So I'm here now, and everything's okay. So I don't know what else.
2 days before this body cam footage, on March 25th, Janet's own mother, Maria, had filed for legal custody of Ariel and his 7-year-old brother. In her statement, Maria said Janet had a history of taking Ariel with her to bars while she was drinking and hanging out with friends.
That's weird.
The boy often had no shoes on and wasn't dressed properly for the cold weather.
No shoes on and no jackets in the cold weather? Okay, if that's true, that mom is messed up, bro. She's evil.
She also claimed Janet had left both kids alone for long periods of time without food, had been physically abusive, once even throwing Ariel's brother against a wall, and that she struggled with alcohol and drug use. Because of this, the court granted an emergency guardianship and scheduled a custody hearing for March 29th, just 2 days after this video.
Well, we want to make sure that he's safe and know where he is. Who's the friend that you left it with?
I left him with another lady. I don't have her information.
What? You left your son with somebody and you don't even know their name or their phone number? Yo, this is an evil mom, bro. What?
Oh, well, that's not gonna cut it. We got to figure out where he's at. Where can you tell me the location where somebody could go and check on him and make sure he's okay?
In SeaTac area.
Okay.
Seattle.
More specific?
I don't have an address.
Nothing.
You don't have an address? How do you not remember where you took your son? This lady is such a liar. Such a liar.
How do you know the person how did you pick the person?
She's a longtime friend that I know.
Okay, what's her name?
So what's her name?
Alika. That's all I know. Alika Bone.
Alika Bone? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Huh?
And you've known her?
Her name is Alika Bone?
Okay. But you've known her for a long time? So how did you reach out to her?
So I reached out to her because I needed help.
How did you reach out to her?
I found her number on my old Facebook, but I no longer have a Facebook anymore.
Okay.
So something you signed back into?
No.
No? You just deleted it all?
I delete it all the time. So.
Yeah. You found it today on your old Facebook? And her name is
Alika Bone.
She just said, I texted her on Facebook today, but I deleted it. Just re-download it. She's...
The Bone? Like B-O-N-E?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she lives in the SeaTac area. So you drove him from the first house you were at to her house? Or the doctor first?
Mm-hmm.
What?
I gotta figure out what happens.
Swedish.
What?
Swedish, and that's it.
Swedish where?
Or I think it's Providence, actually. Providence in Everett.
In Everett? Providence?
Okay.
She's
you understand, we
lying.
just need to make sure that he's okay, and then
yeah,
we can just do that, and then we can leave you be, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
She's
so how
lying.
do we find Alika?
I don't know.
What?
Can you describe to me how you got there from Providence?
So I just drove from there to Seattle, and then that's it.
You drove from Providence to Seattle to Alika's house?
Yes.
Okay.
So take them to Alika's house. She's beating around the bush.
Did you drive on the freeway or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long did it take you to get there?
Why is she smiling?
Like 2 hours.
2 hours. And what car were you driving?
My car. So just like 1 hour or so.
And what kind of car do you have?
I have a Nissan.
Okay. Where's that car now?
I don't have it with me.
Okay.
So.
Where is it?
I left it at her house, and then I came over here on the bus.
This lady's guilty, bro.
After checking the security cameras, police realized Janet had lied. She never took a bus. The footage shows that 3 hours before officers arrived, Janet parked her car at a bar just down the road from the rehab center.
Wow, they caught her on security cam.
About a minute later, she got out of the car and walked straight toward the center.
Pretty expensive ticket. You get a C-tram bus to come down here?
No, actually, it was only like $30.
Oh, really?
She's lying.
You're not
lying.
You have a longtime friend that you reach out to leave your son with, who you obviously care about very much.
I love him with all my heart.
Yes, and you're expressing how upset you are about what's going on between you and your mom and the custody of him and your older son.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's horrible. So I know that you're not going to go leave your son with somebody and you don't know where he is.
Yeah, no.
So you do know where he is?
No, I know where he is. I know where he's at.
Tell me where he's at.
I don't have the address for him.
Bro, she's lying.
Okay, how can we find the address for him?
I don't know.
Did you put it in your phone?
No.
To get there? Okay.
How'd you get there?
You know where your son is because you're a mom who loves her son very much and you didn't
I'm not Alika, I'm Jeanette.
I'm sorry, Jeanette.
Yeah.
Alika, you took him somewhere and you're going to go back to him and you know where he is.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me where he's at so we can make sure that he's okay or what's going on.
She's just not
so
telling
he's not, I mean, he's there. He's
okay.
with her, but
tell
he's
me
not
how
with
to
me.
go check on him.
I can give you an address.
Okay, what's the address?
I don't know. You have to write it down.
Okay, I can do that.
The address Janet gave police wasn't even in SeaTac. It was about a 30-minute drive away from that area.
I don't have a phone number for her, but
When he fell, where'd he get hurt?
just he on his head, but he fell on the ground and he hurt himself.
Heads are the worst.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find, I don't even,
How old's your son?
he is 5.
Where did you get that address from? Just now?
From the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where you remember leaving him.
So yeah, Alika, that's her
Okay.
name. So, and if you guys can't find him or whatever, this is where I'm going to be for the next 12 months. But I mean, he's there.
How did you guys discuss that you're obviously gonna communicate with him still? You want to check on him?
Yeah, like what? She dropped off her son at this Alika girl's house for 12 months?
Right.
And all that. How are you guys gonna communicate?
Well, I'm not going to have I'm not going to use my phone because
Okay.
I'm going to be here for the next 12 months.
Okay.
So if anything, I don't know. What else?
Okay.
That's it.
You didn't discuss that with Alika before you left?
Yes, I discussed with her. I'm going to be here for 12 months. And then, but before that, like, I don't speak to my parents or anything like that because we got into an altercation. So, but this is where I'm going to be.
Well,
They're not asking you where you're gonna be. They're asking you where your son is. They don't care where you live.
Figure out where your son is. Obviously, there was some concerns. And once we can do that, his injury was pretty bad. Yeah, was there quite a bit of blood and stuff? What did he do?
He jumped from the bed that we were sleeping on to the ground, and then he just got blood on his head, and so I had him taken to the doctor, and so he's doing good.
Okay.
She's lying.
Okay. What did he hit it on?
Just on the ground.
Okay. How did it start bleeding?
It's just started bleeding.
Can you show me like what side of his head? Do you remember what side of his head it was?
I don't remember exactly what side of the head it was.
How do you not remember, bro?
Yeah. So you don't. What time did it occur today?
Just, like early, like at 10, 11.
10 or 11. Okay.
She's lying, bro.
It's already 6:30, or about to be 7.
So how long were you guys at the hospital?
We were only there for a little bit. I don't even think he got checked. We got there and but I didn't wait enough for him to get checked out. So
he didn't actually go back and get checked.
What happened to him when he fell?
Nothing. He just cried.
Just cried? Just
like, just like, yeah.
Do you want to sit down? I can leave the door open. You can sit right there so you're out of the room.
Oh.
Well, that's scary. He's 4? Okay. Did he vomit or anything? No. Can you describe to me what that Providence looks like? Do you know what road it's on, or what is, did you park in the emergency room parking lot, or?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Or was there a parking garage or anything?
She never went there. She's lying,
Do you remember
bro.
when you walked in? Like, can you describe to me when you walked in what it looked like?
Just the hospital.
But can you describe, like, when you walk in the door, where was the check-in?
In the front, like I walked in, as soon as I walked in, the front desk was checked in right there, and I said my son had to be seen for something, and then his name and everything.
Okay.
And
You're going like this, so you wrote it down, or was there like a check-in thing? Or?
There was a check, all right, but I think they checked me in. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't write anything on there? Do you think he needed stitches or anything?
No, he's fine.
Okay, you didn't remember where his injury
Liar.
was?
Liar.
Front, side, back, do you remember?
It's the side, it was the side.
Definitely one of the sides that you recall?
The front, yeah.
Okay.
Huh?
Front, all right. And then you contacted your friend through Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I got her information through Facebook.
Oh, okay. And then what information did you get?
Just her number, and then I went to her house and dropped off my kid there, and then
So if you got her number, it would be in your text messages or your phone call history.
You got like her phone number? Okay. And did you call her from your phone?
From my phone.
Okay, the one that's in your purse there, you called her from?
When Janet was reading a fake address to the officer, she claimed she didn't have any information about Alika's number and had
She said
deleted
she
all
doesn't
her
have the
phone
number.
records and Facebook. But now, out of nowhere, she suddenly changes her story
Scam.
and finds a number for her in her phone.
Scam.
I don't know if you guys want to call her, but I don't think she's gonna answer anymore.
Why?
Do you remember what your son was wearing today when you took him to the hospital?
Pajamas, blue pajamas.
Pooh? Like Winnie the Pooh?
Just regular blue pajamas.
Oh, blue.
So, if you guys don't, locate my son, what's gonna happen?
Bro, she said, what happens if you don't locate my son? The reason is because I guarantee you this mom, did that to the kid and then dumped him somewhere, and then boom, she's trying to figure out what's going to happen if they don't find him.
That's what we're working on at the moment.
Why do you think they wouldn't be able to locate him?
Yeah.
You got the address to where he can be.
Because
What is she looking at, bro? She just looked at something. Maybe he's buried near over there. I just peeped something.
like I don't know. I'm just saying if you guys are not able to find him, like what can happen?
What it's looking like right now is that we're gonna need to stay with you until we find him, because it sounds like you said you know where he is, you know where you left him,
Right.
so it shouldn't be an issue, right? Should be able to locate him. I have another favor though to
Why?
ask.
Yes.
Because it's raining and it's cold and I'm shivering, and we're gonna be with you, I think, for a little bit. Are you listening to me?
Yeah.
We're gonna be with you for a little bit. Would you mind? We have a precinct right up the road. It's comfortable and dry that we can all sit in so we can chat. So we're all out of the rain. Would that be okay?
Where is it?
It's just right down by the fairgrounds.
Yeah,
Okay.
just on 179.
Yeah.
And then we can give you a ride back and all of that if that's okay.
Can I get a coffee from here before we
We
go?
got coffee there.
We have coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we got coffee.
We can give you coffee.
You can't grab that seatbelt around your backside. This is...
While the male officer drove Janet to the station, the
This lady wants a coffee, but her kid is missing.
female officer stayed behind. She spoke with witnesses and people inside the rehab center, checked the place, and gathered as much information about Janet as she could. It's still unclear how Janet got from the bar to the rehab center. The road between them has no sidewalks and is usually busy. It's possible that after leaving her car, she hitchhiked her way there.
So yeah, I saw her today, and she looked pretty out of it. I mean, she had her haircut, you know, like Britney Spears kind of thing, went crazy because she used to have like long, big black hair, you know, and told me that her mom was calling because they can't find her son, and her mom went to her house and saw blood. I don't know how dramatic it was, but saw blood. I don't know where, but just saw blood, and they can't find her son. And then she's over here, and my brother, where's your son?
Yeah.
He's with my mom, and her mom's calling over here saying he can't find her son. I mean,
Wow, this guy said that he asked her, "Where's your son?" And she said, "Oh, he's with my mom." But she lied because she told the cops she's with, or the son's with Alika.
I mean, there's a bad connection there. Yeah, I don't know if she's lying, crazy. I don't know. That's the situation from what I know.
Did she seem like, from the previous Janet that you knew a couple of years ago, was it?
Yeah.
Compared to today, how was her behavior?
Drastically different, because she was always bubbly and loud and had this big great laugh, you know, kind of really annoying laugh, and talking to everybody, and she was just kind of with her hands in her pockets and quiet.
Yeah, she must have done something creepy.
Two. Yeah. Do we know where the other child is?
As far as I know, with her mother.
Okay.
And I think that was the whole dilemma, is they can't find her other son.
Gotcha.
And so her mom
What's
went to
gonna
her
happen, bro?
apartment and saw blood and went hysterical, and this is how this all started.
So according
It
to
turns out that
this,
when Maria filed for custody of the kids, she also requested that Janet be placed in rehab and receive psychiatric care. She even asked that Janet's tax refund be redirected so the money could go towards supporting the children. Maria explained all of this in her filing to the court. The officers kept talking to people and searching the area, but they didn't find any clues about where Ariel might be. In the end, officers charged Janet with making false statements after they found her car, but still no sign of Ariel. She was taken to jail. Right around that time, police issued an endangered missing persons advisory in the middle of the night. The next day, March 28, 2024, tragically, officers discovered Ariel's body off Interstate 5. The location where he was found was halfway between Janet's apartment and the rehab center she had gone to, about 75 miles from her apartment. Janet was then charged with first and second-degree murder, as well as assault of a child. When the autopsy results came back, it was revealed that Ariel had been stabbed more than 41 times in different parts of his body. He also had many defensive wounds. Janet pleaded not guilty, and her bail was set at $3 million. The final verdict is still unknown, but if she is convicted, she faces the possibility of life in prison. Yet no ruling will ever undo the pain Ariel, just 4 years old, had to endure. May his soul rest in peace forever.
Facts, bro. What? That is the worst mom ever, bro. What's up, dummies? Today we have a banger video to react to. It's the youngest serial killers in history, bro. We're gonna find out some of the youngest kids ever who ended up being serial killers, who ended up doing some crazy things. I didn't know kids could actually kill people. This is gonna be insane. Try not to get scared. Let's go. Yeah, there's a warning. Like, this is all GTA 6. It's not real, YouTube. Let's go.
I'm Arjit Sada, age
Amarjeet Sada? No way. This is the first. Oh my gosh.
7. In 2007, a village in Bihar, India, was shaken by a discovery that would make global headlines. 8-year-old Amarjeet Sada was arrested by police for the murder of 3 infants.
What?
He became known as the world's youngest serial killer, a title that still haunts criminal psychology to this day. Amarjeet Sada was born in 1998 in the village of Mushahar, one of Bihar's most impoverished areas.
Okay, I gotta figure out why this kid did that. So he grew up in a very poverty type area where they didn't have a lot of food, didn't have a lot of water, didn't have a lot of money. But why would that make him want to like kill 3 infants?
His parents were daily laborers who struggled to feed their large family. Poverty was extreme. Opportunities were non-existent. Life was a daily fight for survival. In 2006, when Amarjeet was just 7 years old, his aunt came to visit, leaving her infant daughter in the family's care.
Bad idea!
While she went to work in the city. While Amarjeet's mother went to the market, she left young Amarjeet to watch his baby cousin and his younger sister. What happened next was unthinkable. According to reports, Amarjeet harmed the baby, eventually causing her death. He concealed the body in tall grass near the home. When his aunt returned and discovered what happened, the family was devastated. But here's where the story takes an even darker turn.
Bro, don't tell me this Amarjeet Sada this kid's acting like he didn't do it.
They didn't report it to authorities. In their community, such matters brought shame and could lead to social and economic ruin. The death was covered up, attributed to illness or accident. Months later, Amarjeet's own infant sister died under similar circumstances while the family slept. Again, there were suspicions, but the family remained silent. Some members reportedly knew or suspected what Amarjeet had done, but these were considered family matters. The cycle of silence continued. It wasn't until
Send that boy to jail!
2007 that the outside world learned the truth. A 6-month-old baby named Kushbu disappeared from a local primary school. The community searched frantically.
No way Amarjeet Sada stole a kid from a school. He's a 7-year-old
When
kid.
police investigated, witnesses reported seeing young Amarjeet near the school. Under questioning, the 8-year-old confessed, not just to Kushbu's death, but to the earlier incidents involving his cousin and sister. Psychologists who evaluated Amarjeet described him as showing no understanding of right and wrong. One called him someone who derived satisfaction from causing harm.
Wow, bro. He didn't know right from wrong. His parents didn't really instill in him what is like real and what's good and what's bad and what's fake, what's evil. Oh my gosh.
Others noted he appeared to lack empathy entirely. The International Journal of Indian Psychology published analysis suggesting severe neglect and possible mental illness.
I mean, when you grow up in a place where you have no food, no water, you have to struggle every single day. You have to search for your food, search for water. You're going to be in that survival mindset. So maybe he thought these little kids were going to steal all of his water and food, Wow, I feel bad for this kid.
In 2016, when he turned 18, he was released. His current whereabouts are unknown. He was given a new identity and released back into society.
What? Okay, so when he was 18, he got released from prison. I guess it makes sense because, he was so young, he didn't understand, but they gave him a new identity. They shaved his head. They gave him a mohawk, apparently. They gave him a new name. I guess that's cool, but wow, what?
The terrifying reality is that no one knows where Amarjeet Sada is today. He's in his mid-20s now, living somewhere under a new name.
Bro, what if it was me? Wait, that doesn't make sense because I didn't
Whether
do that.
he was rehabilitated during his 10 years in the facility remains unclear.
He could
This
still
case
be
raised
doing it.
urgent questions about how to handle children who commit violent acts and whether an 8-year-old can truly be reformed. Jesse
All right, here's the
Pomeroy,
next one. Jesse Pomeroy.
12 to 14, December 1874.
Damn! How do they know what happened in 1874? That was like Red Dead Redemption 2.
A Boston courtroom fell silent as a 14-year-old boy stood before the judge. Jesse Pomeroy had just been convicted of murder, becoming the youngest person in Massachusetts history to face a first-degree murder charge.
14 is really young.
The courtroom was packed. Reporters filled every seat. The entire nation was watching.
Really?
Because this case forced America to confront an uncomfortable question. Can a child be evil? Jesse Pomeroy was born in 1859 in Charlestown, Massachusetts.
Let's see what happened in his childhood to cause him to become evil. Because I think kids truly are never evil. They are always, so wholesome. But then that they get they sense information and feelings from their parents and the people they're around, and they take in. Because kids are like sponges. Kids are like magnets. Whatever's around them, they're gonna suck in. You know what I mean? So let's see what happened to his family.
From birth, he was different. A medical condition left his right eye covered with a white film, giving him an unsettling appearance.
That looks cool. One eye white and one eye
Other
normal?
children mocked him relentlessly. His father, a butcher, was harsh and distant. School became a nightmare of isolation. By age 12, something had changed in Jesse. Between 1871 and 1872.
Bro, they had school back in the 1800s?
Young boys in the Chelsea and South Boston areas began reporting attacks by an older boy. They described being lured to isolated locations with promises of money or adventure. Once alone, they were restrained and harmed.
Wow, this Jesse kid would bait kids into going in the woods. He would say, "Oh, there's a leprechaun and a golden ticket out here," or whatever.
Escalated in severity. 7 different boys came forward with similar stories. What disturbed investigators was the pattern. Each attack showed calculation and planning. This wasn't impulsive childhood aggression. It was something else entirely.
Right.
Police eventually identified 12-year-old Jesse Pomeroy as the attacker.
So he was only 12 when he did it? He wasn't even 14. That's even worse. 12 is like once you start to become like an actual kid. You know, when you're like 10 or 11, you're like, eh. But when you're 12, like you're about to go into like middle school, bro.
He confessed readily, showing little emotion. The court sentenced him to a reform school until he turned 18. It seemed like the story was over. But Jesse's mother believed her son deserved a second chance. She lobbied for his early release, and in February 1874,
I have a feeling this is a bad idea. His mom was like, please let him out, please let him out. I feel like he's going to kill his mom.
After serving just
Why do I
17
think
months,
this?
Jesse was freed. 6 weeks later, 2 children went missing. In March, 10-year-old Katie Curran vanished after visiting the Pomeroy family's shop.
Oh, come on.
In April, another young child was found deceased. The violence was extreme.
Bro, it's this kid.
Investigators immediately suspected Jesse. When police searched the Pomeroy shop months later, they found Katie Curran's body hidden in the basement. Jesse was arrested and confessed to both deaths. He was 14 years old. The trial became a national sensation. Experts debated whether a child could truly understand the consequences of taking a life. Jesse's lawyers argued he suffered from what was then called moral insanity, an irresistible compulsion he couldn't control. The prosecution painted him as fully aware and calculating. The jury found him guilty. The judge sentenced him to death. At 14, Jesse Pomeroy was the youngest person in Massachusetts to receive a death sentence, but he would never be executed. The governor commuted his sentence to life in prison, where Jesse would spend 41 years in solitary confinement, one of the longest periods.
41 years in solitary confinement? Do y'all know what solitary confinement is? This is what it would look like, bro. You'd be in like a box. Like it'd be like this. This is what it would be like. Kind of like this. A completely dark room. No windows, no anything. Like these are your normal like prison rooms or whatever. This kid was sent into this dark room with no talking, no nothing for 41 years. Oh my gosh.
Mary Bell, age 10 to 11.
Wait, what? A 10-year-old girl was a serial killer? What? This is crazy. Oh, this is going to be a fire video.
May 25th, 1968.
1968.
Newcastle upon Tyne, England. A 4-year-old boy named Martin Brown was found deceased in an abandoned house. The initial investigation suggested a tragic accident. There were no obvious signs of foul play. The case might have closed there, if not for what happened next. The day after Martin's discovery, someone broke into a nearby nursery school and vandalized it. Among the destruction, police found notes scrawled in crayon. One read, "We did murder Martin Brown." Investigators dismissed it as a sick joke, children playing pranks. But it wasn't a prank. Mary Bell was born in 1957 to a 16-year-old mother who worked in difficult circumstances.
Okay, so her mom was 16 years old. Okay, that's so weird.
From the beginning, Mary's life was marked by severe neglect and concerning treatment.
Okay, yeah, if you're 16, you are not ready to have a child. I don't even think if you're under like 20 years old, you're ready to have a child. You're not fully developed. I think you should have a kid once you're like 25. I think that's like a good age because you finally kind of understand life.
Was frequently absent, leaving Mary in dangerous situations. There were reports of harm that no child should ever endure. By age 10, Mary had become withdrawn, manipulative, and prone to violent outbursts. On May 25th, the day...
How can a little girl be violent? Like, okay, I thought little boys being violent was kind of weird, but a little girl?
Before her 11th birthday, Mary caused...
Before her 11th birthday? Oh.
Martin Brown's death in that abandoned house. She was so small herself that investigators couldn't initially determine what had happened. It appeared to be an accident or sudden illness. 2 months later, on July 31st, 3-year-old Brian Howe disappeared while playing outside his home.
Can you imagine getting killed by like a 3-foot tall 10-year-old girl?
His body was found that evening. This time, the evidence was clear. Someone had harmed him deliberately. Police began interviewing local children. 2 girls kept appearing in the investigation, Mary Bell and her friend Norma Bell,
Oh my God, they're both the same name, the last name. So maybe they were cousins?
who, despite sharing a last name, were not related.
Okay.
Both girls acted strangely during questioning. Norma seemed excited about the investigation. Mary was evasive and showed odd emotional responses. Eventually, Norma told police that Mary had confessed to her about Brian. When confronted, Mary denied everything, but the evidence was building. In December 1968, both girls stood trial. Mary Bell was 11 years old. The courtroom struggled with how to handle a child defendant accused of such serious crimes.
Right.
The prosecution had to prove that Mary understood the wrongfulness of her actions. The defense argued she was too young to form criminal intent and had suffered such severe mistreatment that her mental state was compromised.
I mean, that's very true. Like, her mom was 16 years old doing some weird work. Like, she was never home. Her mom was still going to school, bro. Like, come on,
After
bro.
deliberation, the jury found Mary guilty of manslaughter due to diminished responsibility, not murder. Norma was acquitted. Mary was sentenced to be detained at Her Majesty's pleasure, essentially an indefinite sentence. She was sent to a secure facility for young offenders. Mary served 12 years before being released at age 23.
What? Bro, she got released. I bet she came back out and killed another.
She was given a new identity and lifelong anonymity to allow her a chance at rehabilitation. That anonymity has been extended to protect her daughter and granddaughter. What makes Mary's case particularly significant is what it revealed about childhood trauma.
Wow, so they gave her a new freaking... Wow, they gave her a new identity and her daughter's
Gita
identity.
Sereni, a journalist who extensively studied the case, found that Mary had been subjected to horrific mistreatment throughout her childhood. She wasn't born violent. She
Right.
was shaped by circumstances no child should face.
Yeah, nobody's born violent.
Mary Bell's case forced Britain to examine how it treats both child offenders and child victims of mistreatment. Today, Mary Bell lives anonymously somewhere in Britain. According to
Wow,
those who've
bro.
spoken with her, she doesn't claim to be wrongly convicted and acknowledges that her traumatic childhood doesn't excuse her actions.
Wow.
Robert Thompson and John Venables.
What? 2 of these kids, bro? These look like kids I just saw at Walmart the other day, bro. What? These kids aren't even like 6 inches tall.
Age 10. February 12th, 1993. Bootle, England. 2-year-old James Bulger was shopping with his mother at the New Strand shopping center when he disappeared. Security cameras captured haunting footage, 2 older boys leading the toddler away by the hand. The boys were Robert Thompson and John Venables. They were both 10 years old. What followed was one of the most shocking crimes in British history.
No way.
The 2 boys led James on a 2.5-mile walk through Liverpool. Dozens of people saw them. Some even asked if the toddler was okay. The boys told them he was their brother, or that they were taking him to the police station. No one intervened. They eventually brought James to a railway line in Walton. There, away from witnesses, they attacked him. The violence was extreme and prolonged. They left his body on the tracks. 2 days later, James's remains were discovered. The nation was horrified. Police reviewed CCTV footage and released images of the 2 boys. Anonymous tips led them to Robert Thompson and John Venables, both of whom had been absent from school that day. During questioning, both boys initially denied involvement. Eventually, under pressure and with evidence mounting, they began admitting to parts of what happened, though each blamed the other for the worst of it. The backgrounds of both boys revealed troubled homes. Robert Thompson came from a family where violence was common. He'd witnessed and experienced severe mistreatment from a young age.
That's
John
messed up.
Venables also had a difficult upbringing, though different in nature. Both boys had shown behavioral problems at school. In November 1993, Thompson and Venables stood trial. Because of the severity of the crime, they were tried in an adult court.
Wow, they're only 10 and they're getting tried as adults.
Though accommodations were made for their age. The trial was extraordinarily difficult. The judge, jury, and public struggled with the reality that 10-year-old children had committed such an act. Both were found guilty and sentenced to detention at Her Majesty's pleasure. The judge called it an act of unparalleled evil and barbarity.
Whatever
But
that
determining
means.
how long they should serve proved controversial.
I would honestly give them 10 years in prison and then see if they completely have changed.
The original recommendation was 8 years, later increased to 10, which meant
I just said that.
they'd be released as teenagers. Public outrage was intense. James Bulger's family was devastated, feeling that justice hadn't been served. But in 2001, when both boys reached age 18, they were released with new identities and lifelong anonymity orders to protect them from vigilante violence. Since
Wow.
then, their paths have diverged. Robert Thompson has reportedly not reoffended and has lived quietly under his new identity.
Okay.
John Venables, however, has been recalled to prison twice, both times for offenses related to inappropriate images of children. His repeated offenses have reignited debates about whether he should have been released in the first place. The James Bulger case remains one of the most analyzed and debated cases in British legal history. Craig Price.
Craig Price. Okay, he does not look young at all. What is this? I thought this was the youngest serial killer. This guy looks like he eats a lot of
13 to
cereal.
15. September 5th, 1989. Warwick, Rhode Island. Police
Rhode
responded
Island?
to
Who
a
lives
disturbing scene at a family home. Inside, they found 3 victims. The violence was extreme and shocking.
Wow.
The community was terrified. A dangerous killer was on the loose. What police didn't initially realize was that the killer lived just a few houses away, and he was 15 years old.
Wow.
Craig Price was born in 1973 and grew up in the Buttonwoods neighborhood of Warwick.
Bro, that looks so nice, bro. Hold on. Bro, look at this nice area. This is Buttonwoods in Rhode Island or something, bro. All these other kids, they had horrible upbringing. You know, somebody gave birth to this girl at 16 years old and they were poor. This is the
Buttonwoods
nicest
neighborhood of Warwick.
Bro, look, it's on the water. Okay, we got to figure out why this guy was killing.
To his neighbors, he seemed like a normal kid. Athletic, involved
Obviously
in
not.
sports, generally friendly. He was known as Iron Man because of his size and strength. His teachers described him as bright. But beneath that normal exterior, something was deeply wrong. On July 27, 1987, when Craig was just 13 years old, he committed his first act of violence.
Oh my gosh.
His victim was Rebecca Spencer, a 27-year-old mother who lived 2 houses
What?
away from the Price family. Craig broke into her home and attacked her. The crime was brutal and appeared motiveless. Police had no suspects. The case went cold. For 2 years, nothing happened. Craig went to
Wow.
school, played sports, and lived what appeared to be a normal teenage life.
No
Then,
way.
on September 1st, 1989, he struck again. This time, his victims were the Heaton family, Joan and her 2 young daughters. Craig later admitted he was under the influence of substances when he broke into their home that night. The breakthrough came 4 days later. Police noticed that Craig had an injury on his hand, which he claimed was from an unrelated accident. A search of his home revealed concerning evidence. Under questioning, Craig confessed, not just to the Heaton family
Wow.
attacks, but to Rebecca Spencer's death 2 years earlier. His confession was
Wow.
chilling in its lack of remorse. When asked why he did it, he couldn't provide a clear answer. Craig Price was arrested just weeks before his 16th birthday.
That's sad, bro. He was about to get his driver's license. He was probably going to be, you know, the cool guy on the basketball team driving his homies around. Yep,
This
you're dead.
presented a massive legal problem. Under Rhode Island law at the time, juveniles could not be tried as adults, regardless
What?
of how serious their crime
He killed 4
were.
people, bro.
This
I
meant
mean,
Craig could only be held until age 21. Despite killing 4 people, he would serve a maximum of 6 years. The community was outraged. How could someone who'd committed such violent acts be released after just a few years? Citizens formed groups to lobby for legal changes. The case attracted national attention. Even President Bill Clinton weighed in, advocating for reforms to juvenile justice laws. Rhode Island passed new legislation allowing juveniles to be tried as adults for serious
you go.
crimes. But these changes couldn't be applied retroactively to Craig Price. He'd beaten the system, or so it seemed. While incarcerated, Craig's behavior ensured he wouldn't be released at 21. He repeatedly got into fights, assaulted corrections officers, and violated institutional rules.
So there's just something wrong with this kid.
Each infraction resulted in additional charges and extended sentences. In 2004, he was transferred to Florida's prison system, where he continued his pattern of violence. In 2017, Craig Price was charged with attacking another inmate. He pleaded guilty and received an additional 25-year sentence.
Damn!
Now in his early 50s, Craig Price remains behind bars and likely will for the rest of his life.
Wow.
Psychologists who've studied Craig's case point to several factors. He experienced significant challenges growing up. He witnessed violence at home. He had untreated behavioral issues from a young age. But experts...
That's hilarious, bro. This kid's in a
violence at
basketball
home.
game.
He had
He
untreated
shoots it, the guy takes the ball,
issues from
then
a
he
young
starts
age.
choking him.
Jasmine Richardson.
Jasmine Richardson. This is another girl. I didn't think girls were
Age
killer.
12, April 23rd,
12-year-old girl?
2006. Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada.
Bro, there's a place in Canada called Medicine Hat? Who the hell would want to live in a place called Medicine?
Police responded to a disturbing call about bodies discovered in a residential home. When they arrived, they found 3 victims, Mark Richardson, his wife Deborah, and their 8-year-old son Jacob. The violence was shocking. But what made this case even more disturbing was who was missing: the family's 12-year-old daughter, Jasmine. At first, police feared Jasmine had been taken or harmed as well. But as they investigated, a different picture emerged. In Jasmine's school locker, they found a drawing, stick figures of a family inside a burning house, and a girl running to a truck. Evidence on her computer revealed dark conversations with an older man named Jeremy Steinke.
Oh my God, don't tell me the older man was like telling her to do this stuff. Oh.
Within 24 hours, police located Jasmine and Jeremy in Saskatchewan. They were arrested together. Under interrogation, the truth came out. Jasmine and Jeremy had planned and executed the attack together. Jasmine Richardson had been a typical preteen until about age 11, when she became interested in goth subculture. She dressed in black, wore heavy makeup, and spent hours online in forums dedicated to dark themes. Her parents, Mark and Deborah, initially thought it was just a phase. But when the 12-year-old...
I mean, honestly, if I have a daughter one day, and she's 11 years old, and she's like going through a little goth phase where she's just like wearing all black and she's like depressed, I'm getting her out of that phase.
Began a relationship with 23-year-old Jeremy Steinke.
23 and 12? Wait.
But when the 12-year-old began a relationship with 23-year-old
23 and 12? That's 11 years.
Jeremy Steinke, they became
Jeremy Stinky. His last name's Stinky. That's funny.
Jeremy claimed to be a 300-year-old werewolf. He wore a vial of what he said was blood around his neck. He was immersed in fantasy and had his own troubled background, including an unstable childhood and possible developmental issues. When Jasmine...
What do you mean he possibly has development? He's got issues.
Parents discovered messages between their daughter and Jeremy discussing violent themes. They forbade her from seeing him. They took away her computer.
Why did they stop her from seeing him once they found out that they were talking violently? Why didn't they stop her from seeing him when they realized he was freaking 11 years older than her?
They grounded her. But Jasmine found ways to communicate with Jeremy anyway, and her resentment toward her parents grew. In online conversations, Jasmine began expressing a desire to be free of her parents. Jeremy encouraged these thoughts. Together, they began discussing a plan. On April 22nd, the night before the attacks, they watched the movie Natural Born Killers, about a couple who go on a violent spree after the boyfriend eliminates the girlfriend's parents. The next night, Jeremy entered the Richardson home through a basement window. Witnesses later testified that Jeremy was responsible for the attacks on Jasmine's parents, while Jasmine was in her brother's room. The details of what happened to 8-year-old Jacob remain disputed, with each defendant blaming the other. After fleeing the scene, Jasmine and Jeremy were found the next day. Both were charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. The trial raised complex questions. Jasmine was 12 years old when the crimes occurred, making her the youngest person in Canadian history to be convicted of multiple counts of murder. Could someone so young truly understand the permanence and horror of what she'd done? Was she manipulated by an older partner? Or was she an active participant? The court found Jasmine guilty on all 3 counts.
Wow.
Because of her age, she received the maximum sentence allowed under Canada's Youth Criminal Justice Act, 10 years, with 4 years in a psychiatric facility followed by community supervision. Jeremy Steinke was convicted as an adult and received 3 life sentences.
Damn, 3!
In 2016, after completing her 10-year sentence, Jasmine Richardson was released. She's now in her early 30s, living under a new identity somewhere in Canada. Canadian law protects her privacy, and her records were sealed after she served her time without reoffending. Her release was controversial. James's family believed she deserved a longer sentence. Others pointed to her young age at the time of the crimes and argued that rehabilitation should be possible for children.
I mean, bro, she got released from prison, but her mom, dad, and her little brother were dead. Like, she's got no family. What the? This is crazy. I didn't know they, like, if somebody, like, murdered at a young age, they would change their identity. They would change their name, like, everything. They would give them a haircut. That's actually crazy. These little kids are crazy, bro.